You want a war? You're going to get one.
What was that? He had no time for one more play.
He had an opportunity to win that game at the end.
But the referee screwed us. The brother screwed us.
I'm upset, but
the brother screwed us.
At least they fought back and tried.
Only Cowboys game.
You literally.
The brother screwed us. The brother screwed us. Yeah, we had one man opportunity for one more play.
Dallas still stinks.
Yo, but the way, Dingbat here. Welcome to the trade deadline. We are just under an hour away from the NFL trade deadline, and we've got some very interesting things happening. You know, and I'm going to start with Seattle yesterday before I say hello to everybody. But Seattle made a trade, and then today you have the 49ers come right back and make a trade for Chase Young. Chase Young trade is a counter move off a counter move off a counter move, okay? Started by the Eagles. Question is will the Eagles come back and make another trade? That's going to be the question. I knew the 49ers were not done when we went out and got when we got our safety. I knew they were not going to be done. Dragon Knight, welcome to Dingbat Nation, buddy. Thank you so much. Welcome to Dingbat Nation. Thank you for being here. Guppy, what's going on? DJD, Kyle Saunders, Luke, Kyler, The Gift, Anthony Kimball. What is going on, Luke? GT, Cat, Mike, Leon, Gunner. I'm trying to catch up as quickly as possible. Colton, Chadwick. And if I'm missing anybody, I definitely apologize. Thank you for all being here. John Douglas, Corey, Eric, Union Strong, Texas Boy, David versus Goliath. Thank you guys for being here. Here's my thing. I think the Eagles, I'm hoping that they'll make another move, you know. Obviously we got our safety. We needed a safety, but it's more than that. The 49ers now have made a trade basically countering our trade. That's how I see it. So are we going to go in with what we have, or are we going to take another shot and get somebody else? You know, I mean, I knew Chase Young would never go to the Eagles or Montez Sweat, but I'm telling you, I think the Eagles could use another pass rusher. If it's me, I'm calling up Carolina. I'm trying to get Brian Burns or the kid from Minnesota. Although I don't think Minnesota will do it because they just traded for Dobbs, so they're still trying to win. The Chase Young pickup isn't good. It isn't good for us, you mean, or isn't good for the Niners? I mean, you can never have too many pass rushers. They are loaded on the defensive line, and they're just going to keep coming at you, keep coming at you. You know, Derrick Henry, make it happen, or Jalen Johnson. Jalen Johnson would be a great addition too, a great corner. Derrick Henry, to me, I think Derrick Henry and Brian Burns would dramatically change things instantly. I really do. I feel like you need another pass rusher because, you know, we've got good guys, but after you get to, you know, after you go to Josh Sweat, right, and Brandon Graham, who do you have? Really, you know, who do you have? Derek Barnett gives us nothing. Yeah, Donovan Peoples to the Lions. We get Surtain. I don't think we're getting Surtain. I do think there's a chance for Burns, though. A sneaky last-minute trade for Burns. Yeah, Leonard Fournette went to Buffalo, but I don't think the Eagles wanted him anyways, because if they really wanted him, where am I hearing my voice from? Oh, it's from my phone. Durr. I was hoping to be here earlier, but man, work wouldn't let me out. Yeah, Fournette's to the Bills. They didn't want Fournette. They could have gotten Fournette if they wanted, you know. Devontae Adams is interesting because, you know, the Raiders are receiving calls about him. Barnett is taking snaps from Nolan Smith. I know, way too many snaps from him. Yeah, do something, Howie's right. Philly, would you sign Sue? Yeah. I would get Sue. Why not? You know, the street deal, like I feel like that was just setting up roster space so that they can make another move or bring guys off of injured, you know. I'd get Johnson and maybe after a 6 for the Pats for Zeke. Yeah, Zeke available is new here too. Zeke possibly is available. I don't know. I'm telling you, I think the move is Derrick Henry or Brian Burns. Go big, man. Listen, Seattle, a lot of people, you know, on my last video, they're like, well, we don't have to worry about Seattle. Let me tell you something about Seattle. Seattle is not better than the Eagles. There's no way. But if Seattle was to have home field advantage, they're the only team with home field advantage I think would be a problem. I think we could go to San Francisco and win. I think we could go to Dallas and win. I think we could go to Detroit and win. I think going to Seattle's a problem. Just because it's a hard place to play. And we never win there. Do something Howie Mav says. Bring Jordan Hicks home. Yeah, I really think the two most impactful moves are a pass rusher and a running back. Those I think would instantly be noticeable. I don't know how much a linebacker is going to be instantly notable. The move is Jalen Johnson, probably. And it's not a bad move. The kid's good. He's a great player. But you still need that pass rush to get home. The Chase Young to the 49ers rotation will be a problem for everyone. I think so. I think it is a problem. You know, there's no question about it. But the thing is that the Eagles Washington would never trade him to Philly. It wasn't going to happen. Super Bowl runs through Philly as long as we get home field. Got to have home field. Major Payne, thank you for the super chat, man. Shout out to you. Because there's a tweet that Howie wants Aaron Donald. I mean, yeah, it would help your rotation. Aaron Donald is a very good pass rusher, but I don't know. I think their defensive tackles are really good. I would rather have Brian Burns. Bailey Young says, would you trade Kenny Gainwell? Yeah, I would trade Kenny Gainwell for a broken cracker. Like a Ritz cracker that you put in a soup. I'd trade him. He's not worth anything. Nobody would give you anything for Kenny Gainwell. Jalen Johnson from Chicago, the cornerback, good player. I think he would be a great player. I still want a pass rusher, though. Am I going to start Anthony with Mark Holmes this week? Probably. I saw him calling me out. You know, once we get through this trade deadline, you know, Brian Burns is who we have to, man. That would be. See, I think Brian Burns is a guy that you could sign, bring him in trade, and then at the end of the season, try to redo his contract to give him a deal. Because you got Brandon Graham, who's, you know, he's getting old in the tooth. If you could replace Graham long term with Burns, I think it would be great. Rafa said the Giants are Commanders trying to mess up for the Eagles by making moves with the Seattle and the 49ers, right? Exactly right. Gloria says, my husband and myself enjoy watching. Thank you so much. Shout out to you, Gloria, and your husband. The New York Giant games are going to be two trap games. Eagles need to start blowing these teams out, showing their dominance instead of playing down to their competition. Well, the Eagles are what? 7-1. What's Seattle? Seattle's what are they? Are they 5-3 or 6-2? I can't remember. But we've got to go play Seattle in Seattle. We have not beaten Seattle. I can't remember the last time we beat Seattle. So I don't think Seattle's as bad as everybody thinks they are. I don't think they're necessarily as good, but they're dangerous if they get home field. Sixers can't be the only. I can't even deal with the Sixers, man. I'm so fed up with them. I believe we have. I want to say we have about 5 or 6 million, which is probably enough to get most trades done. Why is everyone acting like Chase Young has done anything of note in the league? It's hilarious. It's not the point. I mean, the point is that he's not even a starter, and he's going to be rotating in with San Francisco. You know, he's got 5 sacks. You can't deny his talent if he can stay healthy. The point is they went out and got Randy Gregory. Then they went out, and now they're getting Chase Young. Their defensive line is just going to be coming in waves, you know. Make a to make a net even trade, and you won't have to about the horrible Sixers anymore. I know, right? I don't know what the Panthers, they've been kind of back and forth, a little wishy-washy on him. Here's a guy that's on a winless team that is in the last year of his contract. This team does not have any first-round picks. If Carolina is trying to hold on to him for what? So they can win 2 games this year? I imagine it would be similar to what Sweat got. Or, what did Montez Sweat go for? A second round to something else? Probably similar. So I would do it for second. Yeah, Lions got Peoples-Jones from the Browns. Yep. Activate Penning? Maybe. Wow, we got 1,400 people in here. Holy crap. I just looked down and it was 1,400 people. Man, we only got I got 1,400 people and 169 likes. We got to have, come on, you got to get the likes up. I had to take off work for this crap. And then I had to fight people at work. Hit that like button. Make sure you guys subscribe. Let's be at least 400 or 500 likes. 1,000 would be great. But it is, we are going in Halloween. 2 moves. I think we got 1 move. I think there's 1 move left for us. Do you think we don't strike? No one likes Howie on our team. No, I think if the Eagles don't strike, then there was probably the asking price was crazy too high. I mean, listen, the Eagles did the main thing. The thing that they had to do was get a safety. They got Kevin Byard. So they did that. Everything right now is gravy. But when you see like the 49ers making moves, man, I think you got to make 1 more. Aaron Donald would be a great addition, especially as a pass rusher. You imagine you have Jalen Carter and Donald inside rushing, like on passing downs. It'd be great, But is it enough? I don't know. Let me find you, Super Tony. I need to catch up. David Super Chat. He goes, I'm not worried about Chase Young at all. I'm not worried about it in that, like, Chase Young is super great. It's just that now the 49ers have made a move. It's time for a counter move. Super Tony, man, welcome to Dingbat Nation, buddy. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you. Thank you. Sluggathur says, Panthers want multiple firsts for Burns. Denver wants multiple firsts for Surtain. Neither is going to happen. We're going to make small death signing at either linebacker or defensive back. Well, they could want a first-round pick for Brian Burns. It's not going to happen. And then they have to face the fact that they don't have a first-round pick, and he's going to walk away for nothing. Surtain has got another year. So I understand why Denver would want, but they're not going to get a first-round pick. I just think that's a high asking price to try to negotiate. I look at that as just a starting negotiation point. Only like it if we make a trade. Oh, yeah. Blame me for not making a trade. Thanks. Fuck that. Man, don't ever break down the side of the road and have him drive by. Shit. Flipping the bird, Denver Super Chat. He goes, Chase Young to the 49ers. WTF, Howie. Listen, I don't blame Howie or the Eagles for the Washington trading those guys. Washington's not going to trade those guys at all. He's not going to trade those guys at all. Washington's not sending them to the Eagles at all. Bald Eagle, David Super Chat. He goes, Barnett, Quezza second for Burns. I don't know if they would do it, but I would do it. Counting down the minutes, the return of Aguilar. Oh, did you see Aguilar on the onside kick? Goes right through his hands. Oh my God, he stinks. They say Burns will cost us the first, but I mean that really depends on Carolina. Does Carolina want to go into the all season with no picks and just lose them for free? They can lose them for free. I'm actually glad to get Young out of our division. Yeah, I'm actually glad to get Montez Sweat out of the division. Now, Chicago trading for Sweat to me made no sense. Like, you're a team that is got to rebuild. Keep an eye on Jalen Mills. Could come back to Philly and play slot safety. Cost a 7 or late pick. Maybe, yeah. Maybe we should trade for Sam Howell since he abuses us regularly. Yeah, I don't think so. Western New York Philly fan, man. Welcome to Dingbat Nation. Thank you so much for joining. Shout out to you. Listen, if they got Aaron Donald, that would be a great pickup. That would be a definite that would be probably an upgrade from what the 49ers did. But, I don't know how realistic that is. Chaos Theory, thank you for Super Chat. Happy Halloween to you too, man. Happy Halloween to you. Chicago going to trade Sweat to us for Barnett or Penny? Oh, I don't know. Does anybody really want him? Let's see. Broncos. Talk about Broncos now. Trying to see if anything's going on. Stephen Bailey, welcome to Dingbat Nation. Thank you so much for joining. We got 1,700 people in the chat. Holy crap. Thank you guys for joining. Let's get up to 1,000 likes. I mean, we got like half of the people like it. We're good. Let's get 1,000 likes. Help this whatchamacallit. Help this algorithm. It's a happy Halloween to you and your family. Oh, happy Halloween to you too. I'm going to hang out at home tonight. Kids are going trick-or-treating, and then when they come home, they don't have school tomorrow, so they want to watch The Lost Boys. They've never seen it. I'm going to watch that with them tonight. Gloria Denver Super Chat. We definitely need another pass rusher. I think another pass rusher would be fantastic. If they could find a way to get a pass rusher, and I include Aaron Donald in that, by the way, it would be good because I think you could upgrade. No Nate Gary, please. No Sean. No. Jay Brandon, happy Halloween to you. Only move I see us making is for a corner to add some depth. I mean, I could see them adding another defensive back, definitely. But I also could see them adding a pass rusher. Running back probably seems like the least, although I don't understand it. I don't understand what the fascination with Gainwell is. I mean, they're making excuses for him. Christopher Tatum, welcome to Dingbat Nation. Thank you so much for joining, man. Welcome to Dingbat Nation. You guys are awesome. Now the Jalen Johnson guy is a hot name because there are reports about him and how he's being in love with him. We'll see if that happens. I think Cornbread Boy is done trading. Hey, you never know. If you remember, I remember doing one of these live streams at the trade deadline, and it was like, I think it was 5 minutes after the trade deadline expired. Remember, we traded, oh, God, what the hell? I can't even remember his name. The Eagles got the wide receiver from Detroit. Why is his name slipping my mind? But that was like 5 or 10 minutes after the deadline passed. It came out. I was streaming that live. So you never know. Because even after the deadline, you got to wait like 10, 15 minutes because it trickles in. Get out here, yo, wishful thinking Cowboys. Where the Cowboys getting? Yeah, Golden Tate. They didn't do shit with him, but yeah, it was Golden Tate. That's right. Flipping the birds, save for Super Chat goes Aaron Donald, Josie Jewell, and Derrick Henry done. Yeah, wouldn't that be nice? Now, I don't think Henry's going anywhere based upon the fact that apparently there was a deal done with Baltimore for Henry, and the owner said no, forget it. So it looks like they're not going to trade him. Bald Eagle, David Super Chat goes, I think if we get Johnson, Bradbury is part of it. See, I don't think you could trade Bradbury or Slay. You've got to keep those guys. If you get Johnson, he's got to just rotate in, or can he play in the slot? Super Tony, David Super Chat goes, Bills just got Fournette. Damn, yeah, they signed Fournette. Listen, I don't think the Eagles had any interest in him ever because he was a free agent all this time. He had one big catch against the Bears in the wild card game, but did nothing else. But do you remember the biggest problem with the Golden Tate thing was the offensive coordinator is like, yeah, I don't know how to use him. He like basically admitted he didn't know how to use him. That was horrible. Listen to this guy. Yeah, Devontae Adams to the Cowboys. You're wishful thinking. That's the move the Cowboys really need to make. Like, they talk about, oh, if they go out and get Henry, like, if I'm a Cowboy fan, I want another wide receiver. That's the impactful move for them. Like, that is the move that could change everything for the Cowboys. Yeah, San Francisco got Chase Young. If Howie was trading, it would be announced by now. I'm telling you, I've seen a trade come in 10, 15 minutes after the deadline. It doesn't have to be now. Just got to wait it out. It could be nobody. It could be somebody. It could be Aaron Donald, like a lot of people are saying it's going to be. It could be. You know, like I said a few weeks ago, man, this was like an arms race. You know, the Eagles, 49ers. There's no way the Eagles were going to get Kevin Byard, and the 49ers were not going to counter that move. And that's what they just did. The question is are we ready to counter back? Cowboys trade Dak Prescott for the Cardinals. I would give up a number one. I would give up a number one pick for Surtain also. Absolutely. If we get Aaron Donald, the league should quit. It would be interesting, that's for sure. Hey, Phil, do you think we get Jordan Hicks? No, I don't think we'll get Jordan Hicks, but then they'll probably get him. I mean, Jordan Hicks will be like, okay, good move, fine, it helps. I feel like there's a couple guys that are real game changers. I don't know if I view Jordan Hicks as that. Chris, thank you for Super Chat. He goes, hey, Philly 500. Did you see Devontae slam his helmet on the sideline last night? He needs to be traded today. He got one catch, 11 yards. I know. He definitely needs to be traded, but will he? That's the question. I feel like I'm yelling. Do I sound like I'm yelling? It's because I have the audio on an NFL Network. Trey Lance starts versus the Eagles. And Chris, man, by the way, thank you for the Super Chat, man. I appreciate it. We got 1,900 people, almost 2,000 people in the stream. If you're new, hit that like. Make sure you subscribe. It's very important that we hit that like button because it helps the algorithm. I've got to get out of my algorithm hell that I'm always in. If we make a trade, it's depth at this point. Maybe, perhaps. I mean, that would seem to be the most logical, but never know. I mean, I don't know who you're going to trade that's going to come in and start. The only position was Kevin Byard. Anybody you get is going to be rotating in. Princess Gamer says 500 Niners reported that they are working on another blockbuster trade on top of Chase Young. Absolutely, they are. You know, they have the Eagles that made a big move, and then Seattle made a big move. They're trying to load up, but I think the 49ers have one big problem. They don't have a quarterback, and I think that will be their undoing at the end. But I'm hoping that the Eagles are a little bit aggressive here and do something. I don't even mind overpaying for the right guy. Fabio, thank you for your super chat. He goes, Henry and Burns leave for no picks. Yeah, well, they both would leave for no picks. I don't know what the Carolina Panthers are even thinking. They don't even have a first-round pick. If you could get a second-round pick for Burns, you do it. Burns wants out because Burns didn't get a contract extension. He wanted one for like 2 years. I think the linebackers have been all right. They definitely have issues at depth there. Fournette went to Buffalo. Richie said, Philly, I'm trolling Cowboys Nation here. Troll away. Philly 500, the Bears, 49ers contacted Jalen Johnson. Oh, I believe it. Jalen Johnson would be a great pickup for the Eagles. There's no question about it. And I don't look at that as just a 1-year deal. That would be long-term, in my opinion. Hope the Vikings got Joshua Dobbs. They just traded for Dobbs. So Dobbs is going to be their quarterback. You are yelling a little bit, but you're good. Yeah, it's because I have the volume. I got to lower it. I'm sorry. I got the TV volume blast in my ear. I'll probably try to take it down. We got trade for Ertz is on the IR, I think. Henry would be great. Dan Man says, Phil, you do an awesome job for us fans. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. That means a lot to me. I can't tell you how much that means. And I need to hear it because it's rough trying to get off work. I had people call out today, and then it was like I couldn't get home. I didn't know if I was going to do it. I had to make deals. I had to make some trades to get home for this. What do I think of the Eagles, the Cowboys? I think it's going to be a great game. It's going to be a great high-intensity game. And I will definitely give my score prediction on Friday. Yeah, Chase Young. Thing is like you can't really – the 49ers – I mean, Washington wasn't going to trade him to the Eagles. He wasn't going to trade him in the division. So I'm not upset about it. But I think Brian Burns, if they somehow got Brian Burns, that would change. That would be like the ultimate up you one. The thing with Johnson is, why would Chicago trade Johnson? I know he wants a trade, but Chicago just got Montez Sweat. So what are they even thinking? I have no idea what the Bears are doing. Reports 49ers about to make another big trade. I believe it. And hopefully they do it quick because I want Howie to see it and then get on the phone and do something. I feel like Howie's going to pull something off at the last minute. We'll see. Got a notification that everybody said it. Everybody's saying there's another big trade. What could it be? What would the trade be? Another defensive player? Could it be a quarterback? Is there any quarterback out there they could get? Like, what would the trade be that would be humongous for them? I mean, listen, they went out and they got the run. They got McCaffrey last year. It propelled them to the championship game. 5500 Rappaport report: Eagles are trading for Nelson Aguilar. Eagles get another weapon for Hurts face screens. Come on, man, don't do that to me. Did you see that guy just drop a onside kick? It was crazy. Zach Ertz is hurt. Johnson expected to play. Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. I'm not surprised that Jalen's staying in Chicago, especially after they went out and traded for Montez Sweat. As soon as they got Sweat, it's like, why are they going to trade him, You hit the nail right on the head. It's 49ers' problem is a quarterback, and Coach Shannon is, well, I mean, that's going to be their problem. But what would be the big trade that they're dealing? I mean, is it a receiver? What? The only thing they really need is they need a quarterback. Rasul Douglas goes to the Bills. How about that? World Tour Ace says, I think Howie might trade for Brian Burns. That's the weird name that keeps coming up in my mind all day. Brian Burns. But we'll see. Yo, Philly, what's your fascination with Seattle? I live in Seattle and been to some games. They are trash. So stop with this. No, dude, your bias is coming through. The truth about Seattle is this. Seattle is not as good as the Eagles. They're not a great team. The thing you have to watch with Seattle is you don't want to somehow have them get home field. They get home field, they go to Super Bowl because it's hard to beat them in Seattle. We haven't beat Seattle in how long, Mav? I'm not going to just overlook them. I can't do it. I just got homework to the Philly pickup. Philly did nothing yet. It's been quiet on our front. Yeah, Kevin Byard was our splash. Well, that was a necessity. You had to go out and get him. And if that's the way it ends up, then so be it. Josh Dobbs goes to Minnesota. Chris Davis Super Chat goes, Douglas to the Bills from Packers confirmed. Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. Chicago all in with Sweat. That was a surprising trade. Eggnog time, 500 stomach, maybe. Better not get T. Oh, they got receivers though. Unless with Debo, it could be. What if it's Devontae Adams? Raiders trade. That would be bad. The Niners are busy. Cole says, no trade for the Eagles to be had. I think we move forward with what we got, which will be okay. Well, the thing is I would be upset. I would be really pissed off if they didn't go out and get Byard. But the fact that they got Byard, I feel pretty good. Even if we got what we have, yeah, we'll be fine. I don't like Harden. I'm glad he's gone, but I don't think you got enough for what you needed him for what he's supposed to be. 500 Niners wanted Jalen Johnson, but the Bears are probably keeping him. Not enough time to get a deal done. Well, I think once they got Sweat, it's like, why would you trade him now? You just got Sweat. Do we think that Brian Burns would cause Reddick to want more money, or Burns just going to be 1 year? No, I don't think so, because I look at Burns as replacing Brandon Graham long term. But you would bring him in just for this year to start with. That's what it would be. It would be a 1 year thing. Listen, you're going to have to pay Hassan Reddick anyways. Hassan Reddick has kind of already hinted at the beginning of training camp that he wants a new deal next year. So that's going to happen. We haven't beat Seattle since 2008. Jeez. Yeah. David says, Agent Zero has been great, but he hasn't really shown up the last couple of weeks. The Lions have Gibbs, and you see how controlled the entire game. The Eagles need that ability. I really think a lot of that has to do with two things. One, you lose Cam Jurgens at right guard. I think that's part of it, but I also think it's just been a lack of commitment by the Eagles to run the ball. Every time it seems like to me that Swift is starting to get into a groove, they pull him out for like a whole quarter. You can't do that, But I agree with you. You tried to get him the info. What info? What are you talking about? How do I feel about Aaron Donald? Aaron Donald to Philly would be a huge upgrade for the defensive line, just because of what you could do with him and Carter, especially in the pass rush. I mean, it would be an upgrade. Is Carter playing? Yeah, I think so, but we'll see for sure. Kref O'Donnell, welcome. Thank you for being a member for 26 months. It's also bringing Miles Sanders back. No need to. He's had a bad year. He's already been injured a lot. I thank you, Miles, for what you did, but nah, man, we're good. J. Smith, Dave for Super Chat goes, I'll be at the Eagles versus Cowboys game Sunday. That's going to be awesome. Yep, Jalen Johnson's off the table. I do know that, yes. Cash Cruz, Dave for Super Chat. He goes, hey, Philly, reports say 49ers are closing in on a cornerback. Don't be surprised if they trade their 2024 first for Patrick Surtain too, and then after fire Steve Wilkes. That if they got Patrick Surtain too, that would be bad. See, I would piss me off because I would be like, why didn't we just go do that? Brooks, David Super Chat goes, still want Brian Burns. I do too. I do too. It's very quiet on the Eagles front. Very quiet, which tells me they're busy. JM David Super Chat goes, Swiss cheese secondary, coverage linebacker, or another corner. I think they like that kid. There's other kid from the Colts that they like too. We'll see. You're going to have to give up something to get something, right? That's the key. You have to give up something to get something. If I could get Brian Burns for a second, I would do it. Yeah, there's rumors that Surtain. I don't know why Denver would trade him, but apparently they're talking about it. Fabian, thank you for Super Chat, man. He goes, let's try Barnett this week if Carter can't play, and let's not lose a home to the Cowboys. That's all I want for Christmas. If lose over there, okay? I don't want anything to do with Derek Barnett. Derek Barnett has done nothing. Well, he's not going to help you. $8,500, we need to go all and get Burns and Henry for big splash. That would be crazy. We're getting close, though. We are getting close. J-Dog, thank you for the Super Chat, man. He goes, the current state of our defense will not hold up. See, that's what you worry about. It's the depth, right? That's why the Chase Young move by the Niners is a good move because here's a guy that has 5 sacks that's now rotating in. So, yeah, I hear you. You all overreact to every game? Well, we're fans. What are we supposed to do? What are we supposed to, I never understand that. What are you supposed to do? You're supposed to just what? Sit back and twiddle your thumb, twiddle D, twiddle thumb, maybe have a cannoli. Of course, you're a fan. That's what you do. That's kind of what makes it fun. Anton, thank you for the super chat, man. He goes, Eagles got to counter 49ers with Aaron Donald. Aaron Donald would be a great pickup. I mean, can you imagine if you have Aaron Donald, like third down, you put Carter and Donald? I mean, that would be brutal. Only thing I think of is they don't use Swift near the end zone is for Fresh to go on a run for a touchdown. But the thing to me isn't so much that they don't use Swift. I can understand that on some level. The thing I don't understand is why they use Gainwell. I would rather use Boston Scott than Gainwell. That's the thing that just is like, I can't. It don't compute. It don't compute. Why is everyone going crazy about chasing 49ers? This kid has done shit in this league. It's not because he's done this or that. It's a depth thing. It's because they went out and upgraded the depth of their team. That's why. But the 49ers are going to have the same problem. You don't have a quarterback. That boy, thank you for super takers. Don't you worry offensive play call Sunday? I always worry about it. Yeah, I mean, talking about Gainwell being used in the goal line is kind of right around there because I blame the offensive coordinator. I think you got to run the ball on Sunday. I think you got to run all over Dallas's ass. Cash Cruz, David Super Chat goes, I wouldn't worry about the 49ers. The weakness will always be their secondary like it was last year, especially with Wilkes there. Well, that's why there's probably rumors about them trying to get Surtain right now. I had a dream that the Eagles traded with the Raiders for Max Crosby. I actually had a dream, and I didn't want to say anything because nobody would believe, but I had a dream the other day. I was watching a game, and Brian Burns was in Kelly Green. I guess it was the Buffalo game, but you never know. That's how we were with Zeke and Pollard, and look at Pollard now. He needs Zeke to be there as well. Yeah, Zeke's an interesting guy. To me, I normally would say no on Zeke, but if he's really available cheap, he may be a good guy to bring in for red zone. Penny needs to be traded. He needs to be used. They have chemistry issue. Who's that? The Eagles? The Commanders and Giants tried to... Yeah, maybe. Giants are another team I don't understand. Were they going to keep Barkley? What? So he can walk this year? Or you going to franchise him again? You're going to have to go out and get a... Giants need a quarterback. So I would, if I was them, I would have traded Barkley. Zeke is fat, which is exactly my point. He can fall forward and get 5 yards. 500, do you think we have a problem not running RPOs more, even if Hurts doesn't run as much? Yeah, I need to do it a little bit still. I don't think you should completely phase out all at once. I think you do it slowly over a period of a few years, less and less and less. But I heard some things. Seth Joyner said that he thought they may be holding back on the RPOs till later in the season, and then they're going to switch it back and kind of throw teams off. You like AJ? Oh, AJ Dillon would be perfect too. Like any of those guys would be perfect. We got 2,500, over 2,500 people here. Oh my gosh. Thank you guys so much for being here. Shout out to each and every one of you guys. If you're new, hit that like, make sure you subscribe. Let's get over 1,000 likes. That would be awesome. And I appreciate everybody being here. Alex Epstein, a member for 36 months, man. Shout out to you, man. He goes, yo, what's up, 500? 3-year anniversary. Man, shout out to you, man. Thank you so much. I really support that, man. I really do. I support your support. You know what I mean? Dalvin Cook would be nice. There's a lot of guys that they could get to do what they need to do. It's just a matter of what they want. I can't imagine how he's sitting there right now going, yeah, we're good. I believe he's working the phones. I do. I also do think that teams are weary of trading with Howie Roseman because he makes them look ridiculous. He makes them look really bad, and nobody wants to look bad, and maybe they steer away from him. Cheese Boy, David Super Chat goes, Gainwell could make a fantastic defensive water boy. By the way, what do you think Mark is thinking watching the Cowboys do absolutely nothing? He'll be frustrated at first, and then he'll start to change his opinion until he becomes a guy that agrees with it. That's what they always do. When the Cowboys don't do something they like, they hate it, and then like over the next day or two, they start supporting it. No, thank you. No, thank you. Nah, it's been quiet, Joel Embiid. Except for maybe for your team. Jeremy Chin. Jeremy Chin's hurt. You just got a kitten. I got 3 more. I got 3 more I gotta move. Like 30 minutes realistic. Yeah, you got about 11 minutes, but you have 10 minutes realistically, but it's more like you gotta wait about 15 minutes because it still trickles in after. It's not looking like it. At this point, it's really quiet. It looks like he's not gonna do anything. Gunner says, I'm happy with Byard and Julio. Byard makes this thing okay. The Eagles did what they had to do with Byard. That was a huge impact move. Now, it's going to take some time for him to adjust, but that was a huge move because you were talking about a starter. You just got to give it time. And if that's the only move we make, I'm okay with it too. We'll live. However, if we could get something, then great. But if we can't get anything, and that's our only move, Byard, like I said in previous videos, Byard was the move that you had to make. Everything else is gravy. Joe Ramos, David Superchat goes, Philly, we traded for LeBron J to play receiver. Man, I don't know. Cryptics. Oh, oops, I clicked off. David Superchat goes, 2023 second, 2024 fourth, Gainwell, Barnett for Donald. I think they would do it. I don't know if the Eagles would do it. We're going to see what happens. Howie's getting a pass rusher, I bet. Whatever praise Brian. I would not be surprised. Mr. Rudy, thank you for the super chat. He goes, dude, our corners are washed. We need somebody. Please, Dante Jackson. Why is Barnett on this team still? I don't know. The Barnett thing drives me up a wall, too. As far as the corners go, unless they're really gonna trade Patrick Surtain, I don't know who you can get. Corners right now, who's out there? I mean, we heard the kid from Chicago's just been taken off the board. We don't know what Indianapolis is thinking about with Moore, and then I don't know about Surtain. '49ers got Chase Young, Wayne. Yes, they did. We not make a move. What's up, Phil? What's up, NJ Fishing? We might not. We'll find out. But either way, the Eagles made their move. Getting Byard was the key. We can't be upset. They got what they needed to. This is all of this is extras about. It's all gravy. I think we make our move early than everyone. I think we good. Might be. Like I said, the first year I did a trade deadline stream, the Eagles got God, why do I keep forgetting his name? They got a receiver from Detroit, and that came in 15 minutes after the deadline was over. So you never know. We gotta get Surtain. Don't think Bradbury got much left. I don't know, man. I don't know if Denver's gonna trade him. J-Dog says Eagles sign Nate Gary. Oh God. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out who made Aaron Donald available. I don't know. I maybe Aaron Donald made Aaron Donald available when didn't he tell the Cowboys to come get him? Didn't he say that after the game, come get me? That could be where. Green eggs and ham. Thank you for the super chat. He goes, I love to see special teams move. Yeah, that would be nice. I like crash tests, but if we were a threat, if we had a threat on kick and punt returns, I think it would be really take pressure off. It would be fantastic. I don't know that they would do it. Jalen Mills, I've heard his name. Eagles extend Gainwell for 5 years. Please, no. Not winning a Super Bowl with our secondary. Yeah, you don't know. We don't know. Listen, I watched we 2017 Super Bowl. Brady threw for over 500 yards and we won. You never know. The first thing is you got to win your division, then you got to win your conference. That's it. Cryptics, David Super Chat goes, this is where Howie brings back Rager. Oh, God. Didn't Rager sign? He with New England? Titan Anderson, man, much respect to you too, man. Much respect. Big Rhythm says, how mad would you surprise that aren't moves in general? I'm not mad at all. If the Eagles don't make a move, I'm not mad at all because I look at the Kevin Byard deal as a huge deal. I look at Kevin Byard deal, and to me, you could take Kevin Byard deal, and you could take the Randy Gregory and Chase Young trade, right? You could take those two moves the Niners made, and I still think the Kevin Byard trade is more important because that was a legitimate starter. So they're talking about Gainwell. I don't care. They're talking about Gainwell NFL Network and his social media response. I thought they were going to say he's gone. But you can't be mad at the Eagles. The Eagles got a starting safety, a Pro Bowler. Everything else right now is just gravy. If we were not lined up to be in the Super Bowl every year, that we haven't done what we needed. If we're not in line to be in the Super Bowl every year, maybe. Rosie says Howie Roseman should have been all over Surtain long ago. How sad. Plus, stupid teams also feel of being robbed by. I think there's something to that. Teams don't like getting robbed by Howie. But here's the thing with the Surtain thing. Everything that I've read about Surtain was that they were not going to trade Surtain. That this was like never happening. So I don't know. I don't know if you could blame or hold it against Howie for not getting Surtain. I don't know that he's available. I honestly don't. Now, if the Niners trade for him, I'll agree with you. 400 yards to effing Commanders. I don't get it. I don't get it. Honestly. Gainwell and a fourth pick for Henry. Would love that. What I want to see is Eagles. Breaking news. Eagles acquire Brian Burns from the Panthers for a third-round pick and a third-round pick in 2025. Something like that. Jared says, 500. I'm a Cowboys fan. I like your channel. Howie Roseman is a better GM than Jerry Jones. Thank you, man. I appreciate that, man. It really means a lot to me. Thank you. Mandel says, I remember Antonio Brown in the Steelers locker room. Gainwell needs to be relegated to the practice squad. Gainwell should definitely be at least fined for that. But I don't understand the fascination with Gainwell. Did you hear Nick Sirianni be like, oh, yeah, Gainwell, he's too good to not use again after a fumble? I was like, oh, my God. Do a Sixers channel. If I ever go full-time, I will do Sixers stuff. I tried to do Sixer games before, but they always start too early. I'm never even home from work. When I go full-time, if I ever get this full-time, I will. I'll do that. I'll do Phillies games. Yeah, I'll do all of it, even though I'm scared of the Phillies games. But Jimmy says 500. You think it's ease up on game non-stinks fumbles? Talk shit to the fan. I don't think anybody should be easy on him right now. It's our fault teams don't want to trade with us. Every time Howie makes a move, we jump online and brag about how Howie fleece. But he usually does fleece them. That's the thing. I mean, can you think about one bad trade where you're like, man, Howie didn't get enough? There's not one trade I can think of. Even trades that don't work out, it's like, hey, they didn't give up much. How can we make that happen? I don't know. Just keep watching. Tell people about the channel. Help it to grow. When I get to a certain point and make enough on here, then I can do it. Believe me, I dream about it every day. I'm so tired of working all the time. 500, are you Philly sports even though you live in California? Yeah. Well, I'm from there. I was born there. I was raised there. Love the Eagles. Love the Phillies. And, we're not living in the Stone Age. It's everybody has instant access to all the news, no matter where you are. So, yeah, why not? Colton says, I can't lie, I'm disappointed we did nothing. I'm not. I mean, listen, I'm not overly thrilled we did nothing, but you got to just keep it in perspective. It's okay to be a little disappointed and like, man, I was hoping. But, keep it in perspective. We went out and got a legitimate starter, so I think we did okay. Can't believe how he didn't make a move. I'll give it about 15 more minutes. Slim says, we're 7-1 and just traded for Kevin Byard. We'll be fine. Yeah, that Kevin Byard trade, to me, like I said, was more important than anything the Niners did, anything Seattle did, anything anybody did today. I think that Kevin Byard trade was bigger because he's a legitimate starter. What made you move to the country of... I had to come see about a girl. When I got married, my wife lives out here. So based upon her work and my work and everything, it was easier for me to move out here than her come out there. So that's why. I had never even been to California before I met her. Time's up. We'll see. The deadline's here, but now you got to wait and see what comes in at the last second. You gotta see what comes in now. Don't we need roster room? So maybe we just trade some for some space. Julio still signed. Yeah, possibly. So Josh Dobbs go Cardinals. Donovan People-Jones Browns. Ezra Cleveland Vikings. Montez Sweat Commanders. Goes to the Bears. Donovan Peoples to Detroit. Dobbs to Minnesota. Ezra Cleveland to the Jags. Chase Young to the Niners. Rasul Douglas to the Packers. Pete Williams, thank you for super chat, my man. He goes, can we trade for coordinators? Why not? Why not? We got over 2,600 people in here, over 1,000 likes. You guys are awesome. Make sure you hit that like. Make sure you subscribe. I love you guys. I love you. You came out here and blasted 1,000 likes on a Wednesday stream. You are awesome. Happy Halloween to all you guys. We'll see what happens. Vikings stole Dobbs from Arizona. Yeah. Washington, I can't believe they traded both those ends. Unbelievable. Howie always disappoints me on trade deadline. I don't know. I mean, dude, Byard is huge. I love you too, man. I just don't understand why the Bears wanted Montez Sweat. I don't get it. Isn't Sweat in the last year of his deal? Byard can't cover the whole field, find himself, we're toast. You don't need him to. You don't need it to. You just need him to do his job. 49ers beat us today. I don't look at it in terms of just today. I look at it in terms of by the trade deadline. So from week 1 to now, I think the Eagles made a more impactful move. Although Chase Young probably will go and have a bunch of sacks. He's got 5 this year. It was a good move for the 49ers. There's no denying that. I can't downplay what the Niners did. It's a great move. Do you know why YouTube buries independent creators at game time have to search for channels I watch all the time? It's crazy. Well, they do that all the time. If independent content creators already have it difficult because they're going to promote the big news sources. Even big news like sports websites and stuff. They always get promotion. Listen, I've done better numbers than big big promoters and stuff like big channels, that have the websites and different things. And I get bigger numbers, yet they get better numbers. And I don't understand. I can have more people to stream a whole stream and they still get better numbers. It's just weird. That whole algorithm's different. Mike said, you and man 500 been watching 4 or 5 years. Man, it was in middle school. I appreciate that, man. That's crazy to me. Thank you so much, man. Thank you. Dunlop88, thank you for the super chat, man. Shout out to you, man. That means a lot to me. Thank you. He goes, Sub Philly, have a great Halloween. Go Birds. You too, man. You have a great Halloween as well. Just want to show. Oh, God, I can't. You got me there. You got me, man. Dunlop, man. Thanks again, man. I appreciate that. I really do. Thank you. Roby, Byard, Jones, all signed. What more you expect? Yeah, I mean, that's not bad. Not bad. And Julio Jones already made a big impact for us. Bear 24 says 500. They still can't stop y'all run game. The Niners small up front. 49ers have a good defense. I still think the 49ers got a problem at quarterback. You know, you can have all these guys, but I don't know I don't know that Purdy's good enough for them. Cowboys did nothing again. Now that's a team that should be disappointed. The Eagles got a safety, a Pro Bowl safety. Dallas did nothing. Unless something rolls in here, which you got to wait because you don't know what's going to come rolling in. We'll see. Hilarious, you said the other day, all the world's problems would go away if we came together and agreed the Cowboys stink. Isn't it the truth? It's the truth. Truly believe it. That could solve all the problems in the world. Buff says trades are great, but they aren't forced. Fly, Howie, fly. We are good. Listen, Howie did his job when he got Byard. Everything else, like I said, was gravy. Wizzy, the Dread Eagle says, beating us in the Super Bowl for the Cowboys. Beating us is the Super Bowl for the Cowboys. That's all they care about, when in reality, they need to win a Super Bowl before the world comes to an end. And it may be sooner rather than later, the way things are going. Donald, I haven't heard anything about Donald. Brock 30, yeah, exactly. Philly, I'm hearing reports salty Eagle fans being upset with no improvements were made, but improvements were made. That's the thing. Improvements were. We got a Pro Bowl safety, dude. We probably made the most important move out of all of them. Our edge rushers are elite. Our coverage allowing quarterback passes in 2 seconds is the reason our D-line is performing better. I think once we get some consistency in our line, we'll improve. I agree. You know, I think a lot of the problems defensively are not a talent problem. I think that they're a scheme problem. I think the way that they use, like I was watching, you know, go back and watch the Miami game. Watch Bradbury come up and get right up on Tyreek Hill, and then he doesn't hit him off the line. They don't even hit these guys. I think it's totally the scheme and not the players. I do. 49ers are really here bragging after dropping 3 straight, but not even on our level. No, the 49ers, I mean, their really good defensive line got better. It did. Okay, they've got more depth. But dude, they've got no quarterback. I think we need a real cornerback. Bradbury and Slay lost a step. I don't disagree that they have. I think Bradbury's having a horrible year, and Slay might have. But you're going to have to deal with that. You're going to have to deal with that at the end of the year, in the offseason. You can't deal with that. It's not going to help you now. You know what I'm saying? We're going to be just fine. If things continue to go the way they seem to be going, that nothing else happened, we're going to be good. Tim, thank you for the super chat. He goes, hey, Philly 500, your costume is scary as hell. Happy Halloween, King Dingbat Nation. Thank you. Thank you. I know. I look like Denzel Washington with a cold. I'm actually not feeling good. I had to take a COVID test this morning because I just felt like I had it again. I was getting all the same symptoms. It came back negative, but man, yeah, I haven't felt too hot today. We almost had Donald. Almost, maybe. I don't know. I'm sure things will come out. Phillies with Denzel Washington for Halloween. Absolutely. Any chance Carter plays Sunday? I think there is. They said his back was feeling much, much better, but we have to wait until he gets back to practice. We'll see. I would have loved to see Derek Barnett go. I would have. Here's the thing. I think that the Eagles got to do is they got to stop using Gainwell the way they use them on offense. I think you got to activate Penny and let Penny get some carries in Gainwell's place. I think you have to do that on offense. If they do that, I think we'll be fine. We only signed Bradbury because C.J. Gardner-Johnson was tripping. That's why we signed Slay because of C.J. Gardner-Johnson. Remember, they told Slay he was cut. He was about to sign with Baltimore, and then C.J. Gardner-Johnson didn't work out contract, and then they went and they got Slay back. Bradbury, the plan was to keep Bradbury and Slay and Bradbury and C.J. Gardner-Johnson. But I tell you what, at the end of the day, dude, guess what? We got a Pro Bowl safety in Kevin Byard. And Kevin Byard, when he gets adjusted, he is going to be an impactful guy. Mark my words. During the playoffs, we're going to have a play, an important play defensively that's going to help us to win the game. And it's going to be Kevin Byard that makes it. He Californian, don't you got to work? I am working. I had to take vacation time to come home and do this. I had to take vacation time to come home early to be able to stream for a few hours. So I had to use a few hours of vacation time. I did that because this was an important day. Philly, our secondary has 8 different starting secondaries this year. Once we get consistent lineup on the back end, we'll be good. We will be good. You get so caught up in what you can get. You want this, you want that. Probably should have said, and I did say it a couple times, but probably should have said it more. Listen, we've got the guy we needed. We made the move we had to make. Whatever comes next is gravy. And that's the truth. JJ Rock Philly, man, thank you for the super chat. He goes, Howie Roseman made his move before anyone else with an amazing Kevin Byard, which was the best player at the deadline. Agreed. I agree with you. There's not one trade today that was bigger or more impactful than Kevin Byard. We are set with Ricks and Ringo. Ricks and Ringo, I like it. I like it. I expect Carter to play Sunday. I do. S. Da Vinci, he says, you look like a fat, stoned whale, bro. Truth. Truth my ass. You shouldn't be flying that flag. No, definitely not. No trades were made. No need to hold out hope. I'm not holding out hope. I'm just talking. All I know is that you have to wait like 15, 20 minutes as things roll in. Sometimes they roll in, sometimes they don't. But I'm perfectly good and content with what we did and with what we got. Because I have no idea what that says. Now that YouTube has Sunday Ticket, it Ghost Football's related channels. Nah, you still got to pay for it. A lot of people still don't want to pay $400 for it, Chiefs didn't make a move. They messed up. I thought the Chiefs were going to make a play for Adams. I said, man, if the Chiefs go out and get Devontae Adams, that would be crazy. YouTube, David Super Chat, he goes, don't we have a Byard through 2024? Yeah, I think there's an option to pick him up. So I think they'd have to rework the contract. But yeah, I think so. Nathaniel, David Super Chat goes, I think when Purdy makes big mistakes, that's where our team folds. That's a key to beat the 49ers offense. Make Purdy struggle and stop Debo and Christian McCaffrey. Well, yeah, to me, the key to the 49ers is stop their run, make them one-dimensional, and make Purdy beat you. That's the game plan. Paul, thank you for the super chat, my man. He goes, 500, why you have more Dallas followers than Mark? Because Mark blocks his own people. I don't even block his people. I don't block our people. But they block it. If you speak ill of Dak Prescott, even if you're a Cowboy fan, you're blocked. I don't do that. Hell, I don't block. I mean, this guy, I get an asshole say, I'm a fat whale, blah, 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 blah. I don't block him for it. I let him roll. Say what you got to say. You can't do that. You can't block people all the time. How we restructured Byard's contract already? We have him through 2023. So he's a free agent at the end of the year? No, Gainwell's not traded. Too early in the season now, but Joseph and Sue are standby. I think the Street move indicates to me that Sue's coming back. I think the fact that they traded Street, I think that means that Sue might be coming back. See, I want to Slay and CJ because Bradbury doesn't look for the pick, and he was a Fed in the Super Bowl. Fed in the Super Bowl, saying he was holding all game. I mean, the game of the career. Yeah, I still think that bad call at the end was bad. I just do. Dallas still stinks. Absolutely. I can't wait till Sunday either. 49ers getting chased means nothing. They often suck. Well, that's the thing. They still have the same problem that they did. We have Byard through 2024. Beautiful. Hold on, I got to take this phone call. Hello? Okay, thank you. Okay, bye. All right. Hold on. I just got to text somebody. What a working man has to go through, you know? Sorry, taking care of business. Why they hating? Because the Eagles keep getting abundance of riches. Shows the difference between the serious and the jesters. Yeah, I agree. Chase Young is injury prone. He is. Show us Mark. They're melting down. Are they really melting down? Let's pull them up. Let's see. Why are they melting down for? Because they did nothing again. All right, let's piss them off. Go say stuff. Piss them off. There you go. Boy, he's really pissed off. Who's this? Hello? I'm gonna get his thing up. Hold on.
To have gotten any of those guys, they would have had to overpay.
These all.
Thank you, Linda.
See, here comes the excuses. This is what they do.
The brother screwed us. Take Cowboy said.
The Niners, the Eagles.
I don't know, man. I love it, and that's honestly how I feel. But at the same time, if a guy can get you a key interception at a certain time in the game, and then trading that, makes it worth it. But you obviously can't tell the future, and then we'd be in a whole different kind of franchise. But
to the chat here.
I am happy that they made some moves this year compared to never making any moves any of those years. So
the sounds that losers make. We'll get right back to it. Nathaniel Perez, thank you for super chat. He goes, keep grinding. Been watching old videos lately, especially the shaving the head video. Yeah, you're funny, man. And I think the Eagles first 49ers flex Sunday Night Football. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Thank you. The Harden trade, Harden stinks. But I just don't think you got enough for what he's supposed to be. Big T David Super Chat goes, how he made his move early. Rasul was traded for a third. Meanwhile, we got Byard for a 5th and 6th and Edmonds. Not to mention, he's now settled for Dallas. I agree with you. I agree. I'm trying to just catch up here. All right. We caught up. Let's see what they're saying over there.
If we trade for the right person, I mean, obviously you need somebody to, kind of counter that and be in a situation where maybe they're losing and they're ready to give up on something. But when I look at San Francisco, they made some moves. But what I look at is that a couple of years ago, they made a mistake what they feel is a mistake with Trey Lance, reshuffled and made another.
Boy, they're full of excuses. Philly, I don't ever put up expectations. I have a wish list because I don't expect anything. I don't have any disappointment. Only thing that disappoints me is losses. Yeah, I hear you. Like I felt like I would have been disappointed if they didn't get a safety. But when they did that to me, they did what they had to do, Play the brother screwed us. Oh, I will at the end. No doubt about it. We still got 1,900 people in the chat. Thank you guys so much for being here. I really appreciate it. We had a fight to get off work early to be able to come on and do this. So I'm gonna stay here. I still got time. I'm not going anywhere. I'm gonna stream for a little bit. You're welcome to hang out, and we'll have fun. And might as well get my hours out of it. Let's see what he's saying over there.
They've gotten lucky. Minnesota could have easily won that game had Justin Jefferson not dropped the ball before half on the 2-yard line.
Is he complete the Eagles game?
That's one of those moves that they get another score here. Instead, the Eagles go down and get a field goal before half, and they end up winning, 35-28, where Kirk Cousins had no offensive line, and their defense couldn't do anything. You've had 2 games with the Commanders that, maybe if Ron Rivera has called for a challenge, they don't get that first down. They lose that game against the Commanders. The Commanders took them into overtime. Had they maybe tried for 2 when they were hot, maybe they win those games. They could have easily lost 3 of their games. So I'm not looking and saying that the Eagles are a juggernaut.
Dude, he does this all the time. You can literally say the same thing. Okay, Sauce Gardner, perhaps the best corner in football, is given an easy pick 6. Easy pick 6. And he drops it. If he catches that and scores a touchdown, Jets probably win that game. But you could do that for every team. It's crazy. Could have had, would have, should have. He does that all the time. Mark's Pinches knows while talking and eating. We lie so fucking rent-free in Mark's head. I know. It's crazy. Sauce didn't play against the Eagles. No, he didn't play against the Eagles. But he dropped a legitimate pick 6 to start, the second half. Now, you score a touchdown there, change the game. I'm not making excuses. This is how Mark thinks. This is how the Cowboy fans think. This is all they do is make excuses every single day. Brian says, hey, 500. What's good, bro? Long time. Give Mark some cheese to his wine. Oh, I know, bro. Bro's convincing himself just to be let down. That's what they do. We won and the Cowboys lost on the trade deadline. Well, Cowboys, once again, don't do anything. I would be disappointed if I was a Cowboy fan because you got Dak Prescott. He's, 8th, 9th year? I mean, how many years do you think you have with him? When do you go all in? I think the Cowboys should have made a play for, Devontae Adams. They should have done something like that. They should have made a major play for somebody. It would have been interesting. Right? Remo says, if the Eagles don't fumble the ball on the goal line twice, the game isn't close. Shoulda, woulda. I know. It's crazy. If Jalen Hurts doesn't throw that ball against the Jets and they punt it, the Eagles probably win. I mean, you could say that for every game. It's crazy to me. But that's all they do. One day at band camp, Dak is 8-3, and the Eagles still can't win in the end. 8-3 is by far the most ridiculous thing. It is. It really is. If my mom didn't have it, she would have. Right? There you go. Philly, I'm a Cowboys fan, but I show love to all Philly fans. Jerry does nothing. Shout out to you, Timothy. I know you do. He blocked me, left out loud. I said, trash Cowgirls and Dak to another year, no trades. I mean, he was complaining all last week about the no-call face mask against the Dolphins on Tyreek Hill, and he said that was the turning point of the game. 2 plays later, the Dolphins scored a pick 6. It had nothing to do with the outcome. Thank you for the super chat, my man. He says, Skid Marks Holmes literally called you midstream saying how good Philly is. We heard him. I know. I have it all recorded. Final score, Washington could have been 52-31. Ridiculous stance by Mark. I know, and you could go through their games and do the same thing. It's just ridiculous, dude. Judah says, and you would have liked that at Philly 500 plot twist. Philly 500 is a Cowboys fan on the low. Nah, I don't know. I don't even know where you would get that from. See, I am probably the official Cowboys hating channel on YouTube. I'm the official Cowboys hating channel. Everybody, whether Washington, the Giant fans, everybody come to my Cowboy streams because they hate the Cowboys, and I hate them too. I found my niche, baby. Just got here, but I wanted Young. Chase Young to the Eagles was not going to happen. Washington wasn't going to trade him within the division. I can't see that. Yeah, Jurgens is supposed to come back, which will be great. Mark Crybaby made it where subscribers can only chat. I was going to tell him how Dak and the Cowboys suck. Oh, really? You have to just subscribe, say they suck, and then unsubscribe after he blocks you. Lemonade David Super Chat goes, look up Monday Morning Couch Boys, and you will see a picture of an unshowered Fred Flintstone leaving Dino Data on his pile. That's hilarious. Thank you for Super Chat, man. Hilarious. Dang, Mark Crybaby made it where subscribers can only chat. Yeah, I don't do that. I haven't done that yet. If I do channel member streams, it'll be just for them. But yeah, that's crazy. Nathaniel Perez, thank you for Super Chat. He goes, do you think Dallas offense is just CeeDee Lamb? Well, I don't think Pollard don't look right to me. Gallup don't look right to me. It seems like they don't know how to use Cooks. Yeah, a lot of it is just him. I really thought the Cowboys would have taken a shot and pulled tried to go get Devontae Adams or something. Can you imagine if they could have pulled that off? Then all of a sudden they're scary. We had the opportunity for one more play. Always one more something could have. I know it's always something else. I just heard chasing the Niners for a third. That's yeah, they got him. 500. One of those days you need to give where you get your opening like doobadoo. What do you mean? Let me see here. Yeah, happy Halloween. Jerry says are you going to strip club? I'm staying home, chilling out. Gonna hang out with the wife. And the kids are gonna come home after they trick or treat. They want to watch. We're gonna watch The Lost Boys. They've never watched it, so we're gonna watch that. Where's Johnny Blaze? I haven't seen Johnny Blaze in a while. Citizen X says, how about try winning one during the salary cap era and after cell phones were invented? I agree. Eagles trade for Saquon. See, I don't think the Giants would do. I don't understand the Giants why they would keep Saquon Barkley. Are they going to let him walk at the end of the year for nothing? You watch how many of these players walk for nothing. Brian Burns, he's going to walk for nothing. Might end up in Philly. Yeah, The Lost Boys is a classic. I think my girls will like it. I think they'll dig it. It was going to be, they want to do, I might do 2 movies because they got no school tomorrow and I'm staying home. I don't have to go until noon because I'm staying home with them so they're not all by themselves. But we're going to watch Lost Boys and I'm thinking maybe the original Scream. 5, we're going to beat down the Cowboys. Oh yeah. It's going to be classic. 8-1, yeah. Encino Man will always be a class. I remember Encino Man, yeah. Neglecting oil leaks can come back to haunt you if you don't repair them. The Eagles are leaving oil stains everywhere. Question is do you have the necessary equipment to replace it in your garage already? That's the question. I will suggest that I think that they do. As long as you're not putting the wrong screws in the wrong hole, pause. So what I'm saying is I think that if the Eagles get healthy, and I think if they scheme things a little different offensively and defensively, I think they'll be okay. We are talking about a team that is still 7-1. All right. And what I watched against that Miami team and that offense, I think they could beat anybody any week. I do. Watch a Puppet Master. I don't think I've even seen that. I don't let my kids are not allowed to watch. My kids are not allowed to watch anything that I haven't watched myself. Like if they want to watch something, I have to watch it. And if it's something bad parts in it, then I have to watch it with them so I can fast forward. No excuses this time around. Eagles, lot to be little. What do you mean? I think the Eagles, listen, I think the Eagles, if they get a little healthy and they change a couple things around, I think they're fine. And I'll explain what I mean. Cash Cruz, David Super Chat goes, the 49ers were going to trade for Dory Jackson. But didn't report it before the deadline. Report says, wow. So the 49ers had a deal done to get a Dory Jackson, and they didn't get it in time. That's interesting. But I tell you what, that wouldn't have scared me at all. The 49ers definitely get Chase Young, and definitely we're going after Dory Jackson for one team, us. They're trying to build their defense to beat us. Everybody's trying to beat us. Just think if the Eagles made a few changes, like you get Jurgens back on offense, right? Maybe Julio Jones continues to produce at the third wide receiver spot. You have Oz, but if I think if the play calling improves, I think your offense is fine. But the play calling's got to improve. And then the other thing on offense is if you take Gainwell out, because every time Gainwell comes in, the whole offense stalls. So I think if you replace Gainwell, maybe bring up Penny and let Penny and Swift play. If you did those things, the offense is fine. Defensively, if you start getting guys healthy, I think you'll be good. We need our defensive line to be healthy. I think, we just got Byard. You got to let him adjust to know where you're at with him. And I think if you scheme defense a little different, I think if you play a little more press, if you get your corners and secondary to hold up the quarterback from throwing a little bit longer, I think you'll start to see the sacks go up and whatnot. So I think that they got the guys. It's just they got to scheme them right. Deadline has passed. It was 1:00. What do you mean Gainwell gets you 1 yard time? Maybe that, if that. Millie says bye is going to be huge for us. Oh, yeah, I agree. The bye to get healthy, I think it also gives Byard another week to adjust. I think that's where you could see possibly Sue come. I do think Sue's going to get – I do think Sue's coming back. I really do. I think that's why they let Street go. Because they had to make moves to make space for roster. But I think they did that with the knowing that Sue's coming back. Hey, Philly, do you think that Hurts' injury is going to be significant? So far, it hasn't been. He had a great week last week. But it can be. And I think that week off is going to help. I really do. Oh, Troy, man, thank you so much for the super chat, man. Shout out to Troy. Thank you. I really appreciate it. He says, don't listen to the haters, Denzel. I've listened to you for years. You're great at what you do. And you're a genuine dude. All love. Go Birds. Oh, and Dallas still stinks. Thank you, Troy. I appreciate that, man. I don't let them get to me. I'm just myself. They can hate me. They can like me, but I really appreciate that. It means a lot. Thank you, Troy. Are there still trades that are unreported? Yeah, sometimes what happens is they come in at the last second to the NFL offices, and it takes them a while to get it out. So you could still, I would say usually 15 to 45 minutes, they still trickle in. But it's possible, not likely at this point, but yeah, still slightly possible. Getting to 8-1, all that matters. 8-1 is huge because if you get to 8-1 and you beat Dallas, you're now legitimately 2.5 games above them, and you have a bye week. Yeah, it would be huge. I think the Eagles. Obviously for the Eagles, this is not a must-win. But if the Dallas Cowboys legitimately want to win this division, I think this is a must-win for Dallas. Like I think Dallas, they must win, otherwise they're not going to be able to catch the Eagles in the division. I really believe that. Hey, Phil, I think it's funny that the league hates us being the best team, especially Cowboy fans. That's why they keep on with the dumb 8-3. Oh, the 8-3 record, but they don't talk about, times where the Eagles were sitting players out because they were going to playoffs or, you had injury. Like, it's so overrated. It's such an overrated stat, and it doesn't mean anything right now. Let me see. I'm trying to catch up. I feel like I'm way behind. Pause. 11 David super chat, man. He says, from one Philly native to another, keep up the good work, man. Shout out to you, man. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Was Mark still bitching over there? Let's see what he's bitching about. I hear it looks like he's yelling. Ooh.
And you end up letting him go on waivers in the same way you did with the linebacker this year. Okay, and no one was short on linebackers. This is some inept bull crap that's going on here with the Cowboys. And of course, we all say it's all Dak Prescott. If we just got rid of Dak, we would win the Super Bowl. No, we wouldn't.
Dak Prescott.
No, we wouldn't. It's some bull jiggity.
But at the same time, what is their ranking? It isn't,
Mark, listen, I really, truly believe this. I truly believe this. Mark could handle the losing as long as Dak plays good. If Dak goes out and has 4 touchdowns in a great game and they lose, I think Mark is okay. But it's when you blame Dak that pisses him off. And everything is always about making excuses for Dak or making excuses to why the Eagles are what they are. It's crazy. So you think the punishment for Gainwell was correct, especially after fumbling before the half? What was the? I don't even know what was the punishment. I don't even know what the punishment was. What was it? He should have been benched the whole game. Mark. I think Mark wants him to be his son. Yeah. We got a Super Bowl coach now. Yeah, we do. Tim says, Philly 500, we will have Micah Parsons. Yeah, another year or two. Parsons telling Cowboy fans to take over the stadium.
That's bull crap. But hey, such is life of being a Dallas Cowboy YouTuber. Brian, I don't know about you, man.
We covered nothing, but we had a great.
We've done exactly what Jerry Jones has. We've done nothing.
It's Seinfeld all over again. This is an episode of nothing
for you.
That's nothing
for you. We're
Mark
the
is in denial.
soup Nazi of Dallas Cowboys content creators. We given you nothing except a good time, right?
No trades for you.
Listen, it is what it is, people. Prime time. I had your link up here.
Thank you very much. I'm
What
sorry.
are we? I don't know if I did it right. I know, if I didn't, we can show me how to do that. There.
Yeah, your avatar's great.
Well,
I think I did it right.
I appreciate you two guys. I appreciate everybody that's listening to me in here.
Saving the best.
The Godfather.
Bunch of losers. Bob Brown says, yo, Philly, this offense needs to move forward a run-heavy scheme. When the box is loaded, you go over the top. It should start with Dallas this week. Run it down their throat. I think the key to beating Dallas this week is the run game. I agree. I think you got to run this ball this week. I would dress all 4 running backs. I would have all 4 running backs dressed, and I would come out and I would just run it down their throat. I'd run it right at Micah Parsons. Dallas hasn't handled teams that run the ball on them. The Cardinals did it. The 49ers did it. And that's exactly what I would do. If they do that, the Eagles will win. If they throw 50 times, it's going to be close. No, that's not Kim Jong-un. I don't know where Kim Jong-un is. Yo, Philly, tell Holmes, please. He doesn't read his chat. Dak Prescott sucks. Marks 100-0. Eagles win. Dallas sucks. Cowboys will be first round exit. Fly, Eagles, fly. All you do is make excuses. I know. All they do. I'll tell him. We'll see if he listens. Well, Howie needs to get Henry. I think it's a little late now. Cowboys lost to Josh Dobbs. Yeah, Josh Dobbs. And then Josh Dobbs got traded to Minnesota. That's what's so funny. Jets, and that's what they keep talking about too. Is the Jets lost. Well, we beat the Jets and you didn't. I know, but you lost to Arizona. You lost to Arizona. They all got rid of Kellen Moore and scapegoat him as well. And Dak is still sad as McCarthy. Yep, agreed. Let's see here. Parsons will ruin the Eagles' day. Parsons hasn't done anything against the Eagles. I think he's played in 3 games versus the Eagles, and he has a half a sack. That's it. I mean, he has done nothing. Lane Johnson is Micah Parsons' daddy. You know that, right? Lane Johnson owns him. Lost to the worst team in the league. Vegas has Cards 100,000 to 1 odds to win the Super Bowl. Man, that's crazy. The Jets are so bad, I don't know how it's possible to lose. No, Arizona is so bad. The Jets, listen, when the Jets played the Cowboys, they were kind of still reeling. I mean, they were like, they were still kind of shell-shocked that they lost Aaron Rodgers for the year. Dallas did what they had to do. They beat them. Eagles messed up that game and didn't beat them. But the Jets are way better than Arizona. How do you let Arizona run for 200 yards against you? Until the Cowboy fans can even acknowledge that they got their ass kicked by the Cardinals, to even bring up the Jets is ridiculous. The Eagles literally beat the Eagles in that Jets game. Oh yeah, listen. If Hurts doesn't throw it, it's 4th down. They punt it. I don't believe the Jets win that game. The Eagles blew it. There's no doubt about it. Besides Byard, did the Eagles do it? Yeah, they got Julio Jones. Julio Jones was a good pickup. Julio Jones scored the go-ahead touchdown last week. I think that's pretty significant. Cheese Boy David Super Chat goes, Daddy Lane owns Mr. Michelle Parsons. He does. Eagles caused the Commanders to sell their defense. I know. I'm surprised. I'm surprised that the Bears. I don't know why the Bears traded him. Oh yeah, they added Roby, who I think is pretty good in the slot. That was a good move, and I still think they're going to pick up. I think Sue comes back. I think Sue's going to come back. The Eagles have done way more stuff than Dallas has. You got 24-17 Birds. I'm going to give my score prediction on Friday. If Dak is red hot, then so is Jalen Hurts. I saw there was a voting for who should be the player of the week in terms of the air player of the week, and it was Prescott, Jalen Hurts, and I'm trying to think who the other guy was, who the other quarterback was. I forget who it was, but it turned out that 85% of the people were voting for Jalen Hurts. I would love for the Eagles to send Dallas home in the playoffs instead of their daddy. Yeah. The problem is they're not going to see Dallas because Dallas will be a wild card. A Texas boy's hiding. Jose says, why is there so much favoritism for Gainwell? I don't understand that, especially after that she just pulled at the half. Watch us go out there and give him a ton of carries. I don't know. And here's the other thing. He fumbles the ball and they put him right back on the field. Like, they didn't even bench him for a series or anything. I don't get the Gainwell love. The only thing I can think of is that the Gainwell stuff is coming from the front office. That's coming from Howie and stuff saying, listen, Gainwell, we want to use him. We believe in him, and that's the way it is. Because I don't get it at all. And I think Penny would come in and he would be a lot better than Gainwell. Parson is too small. Maybe. Rico says Linval's a good run stopper. He is. Thing is Jordan Davis is a beast. Like, I think Jordan Davis may literally be the most underrated player in the NFL. Like, I think he's having that good of a year, but we talk about Jalen Carter, we talk about all these other guys. Jordan Davis is unbelievable. I mean, it's like when you watch him, and they try to run the ball, it's like running into a wall. And to me, what he does to open everything up for everybody else, like, I don't think Jordan Davis is getting enough credit for what he's doing. No lineman can handle Parsons. Where do you come up with those kind of things? Literally, Lane Johnson has shut Parsons down every time he's played him. Lane Johnson has already done it. Look at Parsons' career numbers versus the Eagles. They're horrible. Philly fan 100 chant, thank you for super chat. He goes, let's go after Derrick Henry and own the season. No stopping this offense with Henry. Red zone suffering, no more. It would have been, but unfortunately the trade deadline has passed. The Titans did not trade him, so you couldn't get Henry until the offseason. Lane Johnson does own him. It's not even funny. I mean, literally, look up the statistics of Parsons' games with the Eagles versus the Eagles. He's done nothing. Joe says, Adrian Fast, Eagles lost to the Jets, Cowboys lost to the Cardinals and the Niners. Nothing else matters. You can say all you want. 7-1 is still better than 5-2, even using common. Yeah, even using common. And listen, if the Eagles win and beat them, Dallas will be 5-3. The Eagles will be 8-1. I don't think Dallas could recover from that far. This game this week is must win for Dallas. Dallas has to win this game. If the Eagles win this game, I don't think Dallas can win the division. Lemonade David Super Chat goes, can I send you an email? I know you will like this. Yeah, my email, you can send me a DM on Twitter, or you can send me. This is what I get. Political call. Why are you calling me? Yeah, so here, I'm going to type my email in, okay, in here, and you can get it from there. This is my email. Also, I'm going to put my PlayStation 5, my PlayStation account, if you want to friend me. I am going to start playing Madden online, so you guys might want to play. Here's my PlayStation. Oh, hold on. There we go. Eagles are still 2 games up. Dallas not beating Miami. Oh, Dallas has got a stretch coming where they got the Eagles, then they got Buffalo, they've got Miami, they've got Seattle. They could lose all 4 of those games. This game is much more important for Dallas than Philly. Parsons needs to have 10-plus sacks to change the outcome of this game. Might. Let me see here. Where am I looking here? Aaron Donald got 3 sacks. Yeah, Aaron Donald's tough, man. Fugly Gang, David Super Chat goes, Micah ran away from Lane and went to Mulata's side and did nothing there. Literally, guy has a half a sack in 3 games versus the Eagles. I think Howie, Kai says, let me read this. I think Howie's want to split the Gainwell and Swift, because if he just runs Swift, then Swift's going to be the rushing king this year, and Howie doesn't want to re-sign him cheap. Oh, yeah, Swift will be primary. Yeah, maybe. My issue is even that, though. To me, this is not, like, okay, you don't want to use Swift a lot. Okay, fine. But why not use Boston, like Boston Scott? Like, I don't understand it. In the second quarter, they take Swift out. So Swift comes in, he plays the first quarter. They take him out the second quarter. Third quarter, they kind of go, both of them. And then the fourth quarter, Swift plays a little more. Like, why take him out for a whole quarter? I think that's crazy. Like, take him out in between snaps, but not a whole quarter. Man, you Cowboy fans are very angry today. You know? Our biggest problem are the coordinators and the coach. I agree. I think that some of the way that we've schemed things and stuff hasn't gone well. I don't need to have the TV on. I need to get this thing off. There's no sound to be heard. Where's my case? I don't know what I do with my case. But I don't need to hear the TV anymore because I feel like I'm yelling. The key to beating Dallas is for our offense to get off to a fast start and go ahead like 10-0 or 14-0. It's checkmate if we do that. Dak can't play from behind. I agree, and I think you're gonna have to run the ball. I think if you run the ball, and I don't know if the Eagles are going to do that. I feel like they might want to come out and test Dallas' secondary. We'll see. I think if you run the ball, I think this could be a huge DeAndre Swift game. I would have all four of my running backs dressed. I'd have Swift, Penny, Gainwell, and Boston Scott all dressed this week, and they would all get carries. I'd run them silly. I tell you. Lawrence says Jordan Mailata is the highest rated offensive lineman, no matter what the position per PFF. Parsons isn't doing anything on either side. Parsons has a half a sack. We're talking about a half a sack in 3 games versus the Eagles. That's nothing. He's done nothing. A concerned patron of shuffling. I don't know what you guys talk about, but what's up, Rhonda Lovely? Dave just says, if we can stop these weird turnovers, Dallas will have no chance. Agreed. I have a feeling this is going to be our best game. Like, I have a feeling that this will be our best game of the year. Guppy says Chase Young ain't going to make Brock Purdy a better quarterback. They lost. Yeah, that's the thing. That's the key. 500 from 49ers and Cowboys games. I think Dak doesn't do well under pressure. He's afraid to get. I agree. I think Dak has shown that he's not a pressure big game quarterback. I think you're right. Why not use Boston Scott in the goal line down the red zone? Like, he's a lot harder to bring down than Gainwell. Yeah, I would have Penny active, and I would use him in the red zone. Philly 500 is my brother from another mother. Yeah, what's going on? You're acting like Hurts don't throw picks in Dallas, not leading the league in takeaways. I love the Cowboys, the things that they come up with. They come up with the most bizarre things. You think that Hurts is going to throw 8 picks because you're leading the league in takeaways? You've had some lucky interceptions. And the Eagles have had some really, really bizarre interceptions. It's all going to even out come this Sunday. Philly from Hawaii. Shout out to you in Hawaii. When's the last time the Cowboys beat a team have a winning record? Well, do we count the Jets? The Jets technically have a winning record, but they didn't when they played them. Yeah, Niners got young, and it was like a 3rd or 4th round pick. It wasn't a lot, but Washington wasn't going to trade them to Philly. They weren't going to do it. There was no way that was going to happen. Let's see here. Maybe Cowboys should try struggling every week if 7-1 is struggling. Oh, these Cowboy fans are crazy. I don't know. I'm trying to keep my head this week. I'm not trying to say too much, but boy, they're crazy. Okay, that's all you got the year before that. Oh, we're 1 and done. So they're always 1 and done. The Eagles' schedule is about to slap them in the face. Well, let's see. You got Dallas. I think that's a winnable game. Then you have a bye week, and then you got to play Kansas City in Kansas City. That's the hardest game you're going to face all year. After that, you have Buffalo at home. That's winnable. You got San Francisco at home. That's winnable. Seattle on the road. That's probably a tough game because we always struggle against Seattle. CeeDee Lamb's about to go off. Oh, God. You better be worried about A.J. Brown. Kaiser, we got bleed the clock. Not going to get into a shootout. Not trying to pad the stats or style points. No, I just think you just wear them out. Run the ball. And it's not because I'm scared of Dallas's offense or anything like that. I just think you neutralize what's his face, Micah, if you run the ball. He doesn't do anything, and then he kind of just fades the rest of the game. I just think you run the ball, you win. It's that easy. Run the ball and win. Crazy how many Dallas fans are in the Eagles chat. Certified dead. Oh, yeah. Well, they're pissed. Well, plus, You go to Mark Holmes' channel and he blocks you. Even if you're a Cowboy fan, he blocks you. Oh, man. Bland is going to shut down A.J. Brown. Okay, who's going to shut down Devontae Smith? Who's going to shut down Dallas Goedert? You're running out of players. You can't stop them all. Who's going to stop the run? Cowboy fans. I hope it's 72-0. Like, I hope it's such a beatdown that they can't say anything. Fugly Gang, thank you for Super Chat. He goes, Kenny is trash, but let's be real. He was a good pass catcher after the fumble, which had a lot to do with us being in position before score. I think he had one catch. One catch that was important. I don't think Gainwell, I don't think it matters. He made the plays fine, but dude, he stinks everything else. Big game for Julio this weekend. Ooh, Julio Jones could have a big game. I think DeAndre Swift's gonna have a big. I think DeAndre Swift's gonna have 145 yards on the ground, 17 carries, $145. That's my prediction. Devontae Smith is gonna have a huge game. I said that AJ would break the record. I think this week they're gonna focus on AJ Brown so much. I think Devontae Smith goes off. I think like I'm talking about $180. Like, I think he's going to have like 180 yards catching, maybe 200. He is going to have a huge game this weekend. Maybe not that much, but I think Devontae Smith has a monster game. I think DeAndre Swift has a monster game. Lemonade David Super Tego sent it. Check it out. You will see. All right, I will check it out when I can. Julio Jones usually plays well against Dallas. Get him out there. Let's get him out there then. I moved on from those games. They were more about the mental aspect than anything else. That's true. Let's see here. Cowboy fans love talking record. Here's one. Carolina Panthers have more playoff wins than Dallas since 2000. Wow. Do they really? Holy crap. That's crazy. Well, I mean, Prescott's been in the league, 8 years, 9 years? And he's got how many wins in the playoffs? You have 2 wins in the playoffs? 3 wins in the playoffs? And then you have Jalen Hurts, who's been in 3 years? And he's got 3 wins in the playoffs. And Jalen Hurts won an NFC championship game. Jalen Hurts went to a Super Bowl. Dak's never done any of those things. Let me see something here. Scared that the mediocre, overpaid quarterback Dak. Yeah, they are. Philly, Dallas needs to change their name to Dallas Excuses. Yeah, a lot of excuses. I love when Dallas fans do this. I love when, we beat the Jets. You didn't beat the Jets. So therefore, we're better than you. Or, I love when they do things like that. And there's like, what about the Arizona loss? Oh, that doesn't even count. Like, we don't acknowledge it. Like, they don't even acknowledge that it happened. They're crazy. Their logic is insane. Raw Cheddar says, a little over a year, Dallas has made 5 trades to acquire veteran players. Jerry Jones thinks old players is the answer. Let him keep thinking that, It's been interesting. The way they use Cooks has surprised me. Like, I really thought they were going to use Cooks more as of a deep threat. They don't do that. I don't know if they try to use him more like Debo, but it don't work. I think Pollard just don't look right to me. Either does Gallup. CeeDee Lamb is a good player, but Dallas is very beatable. And whoever said if they go up on Dallas, it's going to be a problem. I agree. Man, this whole light is killing my eyes. I missed a super chat. Let me go find it. I'm having horrible glare. I'm usually not here this time of day, so the sun's at a weird angle. King Day ever super chat, my man. He goes, what's the breaking news? 500. I just woke up. The breaking news is the Eagles did nothing at the trade deadline. So it was a trade deadline shocker. No moves. It is what it is. Bland's going to get a lot. He's going to get got by AJ Brown. I think Bland is overrated. I'm sorry. They're acting like Bland is the second coming of Deion Sanders. I don't care that he has 3 picks for pick sixes. Lucky. And thank you, King of Kings. Appreciate you, man. Yeah, we'll check that when I get a chance. Philly D, shout out to Philly D. Pinky up when you come in Philly to a tailgate party. I don't know. I gotta figure some time to get out there. Maybe next year. I was talking to Joey about going to a game like together and doing that. So maybe next year when I go, I'll make such a big deal of it that I'm gonna make sure that I'm everywhere and see everybody that I can. I will do that. White Batman, David Super Chat goes, any other balls drop? No, not that I know of. And David Super Chat. King Kings, David Super Chat, man. Oh, wow. What about other teams? Chase Young went to the 49ers. Montez Sweat went to the Bears. What else? Josh Dobbs goes to the Vikings. Rasul Douglas went to the Bears. Or to the Bills, I'm sorry. But nothing is big. There wasn't as big of a trade as what the Eagles did. What the Eagles did with Kevin Byard ended up being the biggest trade. Okay, since that's what said, who did Dallas beat this year that's over 500 teams? And after their win 1 week, they get to butt heads to them. They haven't beat anybody. Get this. Leading up to the Miami game, Mark and all these Cowboy fans are saying, the Eagles aren't playing anybody. Wait till they play real offense. Wait till they play Miami. Miami's going to put up 80 points against them. Then when we beat Miami, they say, well, Miami isn't that good. We can't really count them as good. It's like every time we do something, they take credit from us. Every time. Philly 002 forces 28 years and counting. Yes. Is that Goodell? Dolphins scored 10 points offensively against us. I know that's what was so frustrating about the Washington game. Like, how did you allow that against Miami? But then Washington goes out and has like 400 yards. It was crazy. 500. Hurts made it to the Super Bowl, but how does it feel to have a new Mr. Butt fumble? Because Hurts did the fumble the football off his ass and let the Chiefs score a touchdown. That Chiefs touchdown did not matter at the end. That's not why the Eagles lost. Jalen Hurts got to the Super Bowl. Your boy hasn't done anything. I mean, I don't think anybody should be bragging about a guy who lost the Super Bowl game when you can't get there. When is Dak Prescott going to ever put the Cowboys on his back and will you to victory? It ain't going to happen. They didn't have a court because they couldn't defense Philly's pass rush. Yep. The Commanders dropped 31 on y'all. Yeah, they did. I know. And then remember last year when Dallas could have gotten back into the division after the Eagles lost to New Orleans? Dallas goes up to play Washington. What did they do? Who was a starting quarterback that day for Washington? I just want to know. What do I think Dak is going to do? Dak, back to pass at the 20. He's looking. He's firing. It is intercepted at the 15. 10, 5, touchdown. James Bradbury on a pick 6. That's what Dak Prescott's going to do. Yes, that is my Merrill Reese. Thank you very much. Miami changed their game plan versus the Eagles. That's why also banged up O-line helped. Why did they change their game plan? Because the Eagles forced them to. You got to give the Eagles credit. You can't take the credit away from the Eagles. You just can't. They shut down Miami. It was a beautiful thing. Joe said they should have a list of top 40 of the Dallas Cowboys excuses. There's so many to choose from. The gift. You know what? We should do our own. Like, like this all season, we should do like a top 40 Dallas Cowboy fans excuses. And then we'll make it either every day or every week, we'll do one more. Like when there's 40 weeks left, when there's 40 weeks until whatever, we'll do it. I don't know. I got to think about it. Adrian says, we might be delusional. That is so true. But you all are just as delusional as we are. That's all I'm saying. Y'all keep saying what other teams, but why not say what he's done to you all? Who? Dak Prescott? What Dak did to us? I don't know how many times I could have said it. I mean, I've said it before. Yeah, he's had success with us in the past. I just don't know what that means now. See, the way I look at it, Cowboy fans look at his division record. They look at his record versus the Eagles. He's 8-3, right? And you think that, like, what? You want a reward for it? You want an award? Want to get a Super Bowl ring? I don't know what you want for it. To me, that says something bad for you. It says to me that during those years, Dak Prescott was able to build an 8-3 record. He's done absolutely nothing with it. The fact that he has a great division record, 8-3 versus the Eagles, and he's never won back-to-back divisions. There hasn't been a back-to-back division winner since 2004. So if Dak Prescott, who has dominated a division, is so great, why did he not repeat as a division champ? I think that Dak Prescott and the Cowboys, I think what that record shows us is that Dak Prescott has blown his load, that the Cowboys blew their load in owning the NFC East. They had a chance to dominate, and they blew it, and it got away from them. Now, the Eagles are a powerhouse. Now, if the Giants ever get a quarterback, Washington ever gets a quarterback, these teams are a lot better than they used to be. So I see your great record that you guys brag about Dak. I see it as a lose-lose for you because you totally squandered it. You squandered his record against the division. That's my little tirade there. You guys could keep talking about the record, but you did nothing with it. Only Dallas fans talk highly about their team after a win. After they lost, they talk shit on their team. The Cowboys are a team made from toxic. Oh, yeah, agreed. I agree. Cowboys squandered Dallas's Dak Prescott's division record. You've squandered it. We're delusional, but you all hear from Eagle fans that the She-Eagles are unbeatable. Nobody said the Eagles were unbeatable. That you guys make. Here's what you guys do. I'm gonna be honest with you, Albert. That every trade pickup is gold, and every war other teams make it trash. Nobody says anybody makes trash trades. I just think I was crediting the 49ers on the Chase Young deal. I spent a whole year crediting teams for good deals. But here's what you guys do. I'm going to tell you what the Cowboy fans do. Cowboy fans a lot of times will come into your channel and they'll say something about the Eagles, and they'll act like they'll actually pretend to be Eagle fans. And so they'll say something about the Eagles so you think that they're Eagle fans. And then they say something totally ridiculous. Like I don't know. It could be something like how great the Eagles are or something like that. And then they run and say, look at the Eagle fans are posting. And then they post what they literally chatted acting as an Eagle fan. Or they come in as an Eagle fan and go, I'm really worried about Dak Prescott. I'm really worried about this. Like they actually impose as other team fans. I've never seen any other fan base do that. I'm just saying, I've never seen that. Anybody else do that. Let's see here. We said, what are you all talking about? I don't know what I'm saying. Look at the facts. You all say, look at what the Cowboys beat. Right. We played the Rams team. We destroyed. You all barely won. We played Jets. We destroyed you. Well, what's the difference between the Eagles game versus the Rams and the Jets? And Dallas's game versus the Rams and the Jets? I mean, just off the cuff. What's the difference? I'll tell you what it is. You played both those teams in Dallas. We were on the road both those games. A lot harder to win on the road, especially Dallas should know that. You don't have a great record on the road. You play them at home. It's just crazy. You guys always have an excuse for something. Seventh, Rick, thank you for the super chat, man. Appreciate that. Thank you. We played the Jets in New York. The Jets obviously were ready to play that game, and they beat us. Give them credit. Congratulations, the Jets beat us. But, you lost to Arizona. How do you lose to Arizona? Dallas can't beat teams over 500. What is that? Dallas still stinks and always will. What's Dallas's road record? Were they 2-2, right? 2-2 on the road? I mean, that's their problem. Dallas is the only team so bad that to lose the Cardinals. They're the only team that lost the Cardinals. They gave up 200 yards on the ground. It's crazy to me. I can admit that I think Dallas is a playoff team. I say that all the time. But it's never good enough. Literally, if you guys remember, and you could go back and watch my video, all my videos, after week 2, the Cowboy fans were coming on here wanting us to bend the knee. They were saying we have to bend the knee. They were getting mad at that girl from ESPN because she said she didn't think Dallas was that good. Like, they literally thought after 2 weeks that everybody should just give them all the credit in the world. Then they go out and they get beat by Arizona. But they don't talk about that. Dan, I mean, Eagle fans can say all the time, players make mistakes, our guys this. Sometimes Eagle fans are accused for being too negative about their team. Cowboys fans always make an excuse. Chris, not all of them. There's fans that don't, but a lot of them. Christopher Darker, David Superchat, he goes, they also played the Jets a week after they lost Rodgers. Cowboys should know how that feels. They blame the Cards' loss on losing Diggs. Yeah, on losing Diggs, but the guy ran for over 200 yards. It's ridiculous. You know why Dallas lost to Arizona? Because they weren't ready to play. They weren't ready to play, and you were in a position where you're not at your best, and you needed your franchise quarterback to lift you up and get you the win. And he couldn't do that. That's why they lost. You know why the Eagles won close games this year? That maybe they were losing or got outplayed and still won? Because their quarterback willed them to victory. That's the truth. And Christopher Davis, Super Chat, my man. Eagles Army down under Davis, Super Chat goes, Dallas fans want to talk about delusional Eagle fans. Skip Bayless actually said A.J. Brown was having a slightly better year than Lamb. Yeah, that's insane. That's insane. It's insane. Always something. I don't even know how you say 7th Street. Why am I so stupid? Oh my God, I'm so stupid sometimes. It just don't compute. 7th Street. Half of Dak's wins are against backups. Interesting. Yeah, that's interesting. I didn't think about it. That's a good point. Let me tell you, if you go back a year ago, when we were getting ready to play Dallas the first time, I would say 50% of the Cowboy fans were ready to trade Dak Prescott. They flat out just wanted to trade him because Cooper Rush was 5-0. You guys remember that? I can't believe I couldn't. 7th Street. What a moron I am. Dude, I'm a moron. Philly D. Davis Super Chat goes, Philly 500 said beginning of 2017 season, I'm not crediting Wentz for winning against Dallas practice squad team. I did. I said that exactly right. I still never counted that as a win because it was against the practice squad. Jalen going to show Dak why he's a better quarterback. Agreed. Green Blaze Denver Super Chat goes, what do you think about the Harden trade? The whole thing's frustrating. I don't know that they got enough back for what he's supposed to be. He needs to be one of your big 2 guys that are supposed to help you win a championship. Did they get that back? No. The Sixers gotta figure something out because you gotta keep Embiid. I hate hearing people wanting to trade him. It pisses me off. And Dave for his super chat. So Matt Stafford is a bad quarterback now. No, he's a good quarterback when he's on. If you go back and watch what I said about the Dallas game, I said it's all going to depend on what kind of Matt Stafford you get, because Matthew Stafford in recent years he's like if he looks great and he's on, he's amazing, but when he's off, he looks really bad. So it was really going to be dependent upon that. I give Dallas credit for the Rams win. That's a win. Give them credit. I have no problem with it. But how come they don't acknowledge their loss to Arizona? See, Danny for Super Chat. He goes, "What's up, 500? My favorite week of the regular season. I still think we won the deadline with Byard and Julio. Ready for the Sunday 34-14? Oh, my God. Please be 34-14. I would love that. Yeah, I think the Eagles made the most significant trade with Byard because he's going to start. And I like Julio. He had the game-winning touchdown, the go-ahead touchdown versus Washington. I think we'll be fine, too. I do. Let's see. Trying to catch up. 7th Street Rick, David Super Chat goes, Nate Sudfeld and Gardner Minshew. P.S. DBs too. Yeah, Nate Sudfeld. Stinks. Eagle Nation says, I'm glad the Eagles finally found safety. Me too. I think people just got to be a little bit, patient with him. You know what I mean? Like, everybody was like, well, he's nothing. He stinks. Did you see he let this pass go? Like, it's going to take him time to adjust. James was Ben Simmons part 2. Sixers got draft capital, 3 expiring contracts, and who are rotational players. And now Maxey gets the key to the car, reigning player. Well, that's what you really need Maxey to take that next step. Will they have cash? What's the cash situation for the Sixers after this year? Because you got to go out and get somebody. Sixers' big mistake, and they're still paying for it. People don't want to acknowledge it. Is the Jimmy Butler letting him out of the building is one of the most, most horrible moves or non-moves that have ever taken place. And it cost the Sixers 2 titles, in my opinion. How come the Eagles beat the 49ers and they can't beat them? Ask the same also. Yeah, that's true. We've got more for Hurts in 2 years than the Cowboys have gotten from Dak, and agreed. 500, we might get sued tomorrow. I think the deadline trade for the free agents is November. No, the trade deadline is now. It is now. It's today. It already happened. I think Sue's coming back too. I have a feeling that they already know Sue's coming back. They already know what week he's coming back. It might be after the bye week or, might be during the bye week. But I think Sue's coming back. I do. I would not be surprised if the Eagles sign Sue on Monday. They want to sign him. Maybe he's got a deal worked out to come back to Philly on their bye week, and that's all he needs. Give him that week and go. I think Sue ends up coming back. Brandon, thank you for the super chat. He goes, Dallas will even up the division the next 6 weeks. Talk man shit, then fell apart when they play Seattle, Philly, Bills, Miami, Detroit at the end of the season. Well, yeah, that's December, right? So December is Dallas choke season. Cowboys choke season starts December 1st. I agree with you. Thank you for super chat, by the way. 007 says you won't see a Dallas fan for 2 weeks after the Eagles punched them in the mouth on Sunday. 100. That's true. It's like a light coming on in a room full of cockroaches. That's why we don't respect fake fans. Yeah. You also see, I swear, every time Dallas loses, go to my sub count. Well, I don't know if you guys can see it, but it just starts going down. And it's always after Cowboys loss. And it goes down. It'll be anywhere from 5 to 20 people, depending upon how bad the loss is. And if it's to the Eagles, it really goes down. And then they come back 2 or 3 days later. And I know that because some of the guys that are public when they resubscribe, it tells you. So I'm like, here they go again. They lost. Seventh Street Rick, man, thank you for super chat. He goes, that's literally Dak wins Minshew, Nate, and against practice squad defensive backs at Dallas in overtime. Tip ball game winner. Dallas fans are delusional. Very, very delusional. I agree. Richard Henny, thank you for super chat. He goes, are you scared of the 49ers with Chase Young over there? I think it helps them. I think it helps the rotation. I think it's a good trade in that regard. I still think that the Niners have the same problem. They have a quarterback problem. I don't think Purdy can beat the Eagles, especially in Philly. And as long as they have that problem, no, I'm not worried about them. As long as we play them in Philly, that's the key. Because the key to the Niners is shut down the running game and force Purdy to have to make throws to beat you. I think that's very hard to do in January in Philly. Thank you for that super chat, by the way. Let's see. Okay, we will leave Dak alone now. We'll bust on Parsons and Lamb, Rush, and Lance. They all have a lot of talent, but because they are the Cowboys, they will never win a Super Bowl. We will see. We will see what happens. Dak versus Jalen this week it's going to be a fascinating game. We only beat Purdy because Hassan Reddick hit, stick, boom, that ass. I don't look at that as a because or like as a reason like that. That's perfectly fine. If a team knocks out the quarterback, that's what they're supposed to do, right? Inflict your will, inflict pain into them. So to me, that is something that you can't hold against the Eagles. That is the way it goes. Why didn't Dallas with the great Micah Parsons? Why didn't they hurt Purdy? $500. Do you ever watch Pizzle's game reactions to his losing Giants? It's hilarious, man. You need them. Oh yeah, I watch it. I watch them. I always do. Go Gadget can't even spell. Let my hands off correctly. Stupid SOB, just like your quarterback owner and head coach. Dallas didn't make any moves. That really surprises me. They really think, and that's Dallas. They think they're way better than what they are. They think that they're so good that they don't need to go out and get anybody. I thought Davante Adams would have been the guy that they would have tried to jump on. Like, if they could have, can you imagine if the Cowboys, seriously, let's be honest, imagine if the Cowboys traded for Davante Adams today. It would totally change. It would totally change everything in the NFC. It would be Eagles and Cowboys, and it would be a slugfest. They didn't do it. They didn't even try. Yeah, Mozzie's played. I think he's got 3 solo tackles, and then you have like Mark Holmes saying that Mozzie Smith was going to be better than Jordan Davis. It's not even close. Let's see. Whiners are better. Worry about LT and the quarterback, left tackle and the quarterback. 49ers are in trouble too. They've lost 3 in a row. I don't know who they play after the bye week though. Oh, when the last time the Eagles beat Dallas? Last year in Philly. Dallas says their thumbs up their asses at the trade deadline. You guys are food. It's crazy. The Eagles beat Dallas last year. I mean, I don't understand. I know what they're going to say. Oh, well, you beat our backup quarterback. How come the Eagles, when the Eagles beat their backup, it's like you have to acknowledge that they did that. But when Dallas beat us, you can't acknowledge that you beat our backup quarterback. You beat our backup quarterback. Dak can't throw the ball downfield just like Jalen does. No, and you can tell by some of the play calls that they don't trust Dak throwing in certain situations. They don't, because they don't give him the ball. Eagles aren't like that. I do watch his reactions. Yep. Dallas fans are straight clowns. I love it. I love it. The thing is we're going to play Dallas this week. It is what it is. To me, this week is a very important game for the Cowboys. This is a more important game for the Cowboys than it is for the Eagles. That's just the truth of the matter. That's the truth. Dallas can't afford to lose this game. If they lose this game, they're 2.5 games back. Eagles have a game on hand. They're in trouble. Big trouble. They're not straight clowns. They're, jeez. Woo. Mr. Movi Soeo, preacher, is that how I say it? Stop paying attention to the trolls. They emotional after Mike Parsons calls us. Oh, that was even better, dude. That was so great. I will not keep giving him a lot of attention, but I gotta say this: that bye week was hilarious, right? They literally thought we were going to lose, so they were going to gain a half a game. Then they thought that they would be in it on the trade deadline, right? They thought that, and then they never thought Micah Parsons would say what he said. So the Eagles, they go out there, they win, they beat Miami, that pisses them all off. They trade for Kevin Byard, that puts them in a rage, and then Micah Parsons literally says the Eagles are the best team, and they just lose their mind. Mark Holmes wouldn't even acknowledge what he said. He wrote in his headline, Micah Parsons says Eagles are biggest threat. No, that's not what he said. He said the Eagles are the best team. It's hilarious. It's hilarious. What are you talking about? I say stuff every week to Philly stuff. Oh, you can say whatever you want. What's great is we're going to play this week. Eagle Entity says we need a young physical corner at some point. I want to get young there and guys who can play press up, not just back. I think you need to too. I agree. The question is, we're talking about the draft. It's a long way away. What are you going to go? You really need another right tackle. You really need a corner. I think you could use a safety. What about a linebacker? So the Eagles could go a lot of different ways. Alberto Castro can't be real. The wet field made it impossible for quarterbacks to plant a third down field. He gets the pass on that one. I don't know which game you're talking about. Oh, yeah, for sure. We have a run at the number 1 seed, and the bye week. Regular season is about the mental edge we can get on the Chiefs and Bills for Super Bowl. Yeah, I agree. I think the way it's looking, I'm just going to be honest, I think that Chiefs game is going to be really hard. It's not impossible, but it's going to be a really bad spot for us. However, I really like us against Buffalo. So I would not be surprised if we split, between the Kansas City and the Buffalo game, which won't kill us because it's an AFC opponent. So I think we'll be all right. Richard Henny, thank you for Super Chat, my man. He goes, have Mark Holmes do a live stream with you during the game. I'll have to talk to him about it. He's got all those other people there, like Kim Jong-un, and they got all the food. I probably would get in the way. I don't think they want me talking back to them. They just want to yell at me. That's why they do it that way. Straight Ken loves to pretend to know us. That's a woke approach to people. I don't care if I don't know what you're talking about. I have to move on. Philly Niners play the Jags after the bye week. Ooh, and it's in Jacksonville, isn't it? Jags on the bye week. Josh Allen going to feast on. Yeah, Niners may lose that game. They might lose that game. I think that this game this week, it's an important game. It's a very important game for both teams. But I think this is do or die for the Cowboys. I think this is a must-win game for the Cowboys. So I see them coming in a lot more desperate than the Eagles. That's the truth. Jonathan Gann says Kyle Murray or Clayton Tune will start Sunday. So Kyle Murray is almost back, huh? Here comes all the excuses saying the game is not important. No, the game's very important. The game's very important. It's an important game. It's more important for Dallas. It's a must-win for Dallas. You don't agree with that? Do you not agree with that, Go-Go Gadget? You don't agree that it's more important for Dallas than the Eagles? Because I think based upon your record, based upon the seeding, I think it's more important that you win this game than the Eagles. Because if the Dallas Cowboys don't win this game, you're now full 2.5 games behind us. And you're losing the tiebreaker. Yeah, I do. I think Dallas needs to win this game. Even Mark Holmes says this is the most important game for Dallas in the last 30 years. The Eagles, if they lose, they're still half a game up on you. No, it's a divisional game. It's equally irrelevant. It's equally irrelevant? No, it's not. How could the game be irrelevant? It's very relevant. It's very relevant. And in most cases, the team that has the worst record is going to probably need it more. That's just the key. That's just the truth. I don't think that's crazy at all. If Dallas loses this game, the Eagles are 8-1. Dallas is 5-3. Now the Eagles have a bye week. Dallas has to win on that bye week, but you're still 2 games back, 2 full games, and you're losing the tiebreaker. So in actuality, you need 3 more wins than the Eagles. It's a bad spot to be in for Dallas. So I don't see how you can say that it's not more important game for Dallas. It is. If you want to win the division, it's a must win. Eagles will play their best game. We'll hear. I agree. No, Eagles have not had their bye week yet. But we won on your bye week. So we held serve. Now you've got to go do it. It's a very relevant game. I mean, he literally said the game's irrelevant. What do you mean? This is another statement game for the Eagles. Dallas will prove, just like Miami, they can't beat contenders 5. We win. Oh, yeah. I think we're winning. But I also think if the Eagles win this game, it's going to be very hard for Dallas to win the division. If Dallas wins the division, they're right in the middle of it, but so are the Eagles. So I do think it's a more important game for Dallas. Not that it's not important for the Eagles. It's very important for the Eagles. But Dallas, this is like a must-win if they want the division. For all intents and purposes. Do we are in a chat? Not sure if you're aware of this. Discussing busting balls is what happens here. Don't need safe space. Yeah, who wants safe space? You're not going to get it here. Trader Chris says, you can't make sense of mental illness, Philly. Just sit the kids in the corner with a VCR and let them enjoy Jim Johnson's locker room speech. How about them Cowboys? That's it. I blow my load on a Ram. What is wrong? What? Eagles are going to lay a smack down their candy asses. Agreed. The real Cowboys played the Rams. Well, who did the fake Cowboys play? Oh, my God. So the Cowboys fans think they're great because they put 40 on the Rams. Great. The Rams are not the Eagles. That's actually facts. Example, 49ers need to win against the Jags, who lost 3 in a row. Jags have the better record than the 49ers. 49ers can't go down 4 games in a row. That's just facts. It's just facts. You know, if you look at the way the schedule is set up, you look at the record of both teams. I don't think Dallas can lose this game and win the division. I think it's going to put them in a really tough spot. It's not impossible, but it's going to be a lot tougher. So I think in a lot of ways this must win for Dallas. There are more than 2 lot of morons in here, blah blah. The last I heard with Jalen Carter was he was feeling a lot better. They still were going to see if he could practice, and that's kind of where it's been left up and we're waiting. Harrison says the Birds haven't played a complete game this year, and we still have the best record. Just wait till things are actually right. And you want things to start clicking when you get into December and January, not in October. Let me see. We're gonna have to establish the run and protect Jalen Hurts. I agree. I think you got to establish the run. I think this is a game where you got to really let DeAndre Swift go out there and run the ball. No question about it. Did Micah their best bet? I say Eagles are the best team. Yeah, I can't believe Cowboy fans let him off the hook too. I would have been so pissed off if Micah Parsons was an Eagle and said that. Matter of fact, I think it's so bad that I don't even know if I would want him to be an Eagle. Because I don't like that mindset. You can't go online and tell people that the Eagles are the best team while the season's actually going on. Even if he's honest, even if he's telling the truth, you can't do it. I hope this will be DeAndre Swift. $145. 17. Here's my stat line for DeAndre Swift. 17 carries, 145 yards, 1 touchdown, 3 receptions, 28 yards. That's what I think DeAndre Swift's stat line is going to be. Yeah, all they did was make excuses to what he said. And Mark Holmes literally did a video on it and tried to say he was saying something else. Mark's like, Micah Parsons says the Eagles are Dallas's biggest threat. That's not what he said. That was not what he said. Who do I think is going to be traded? Nobody now. Nobody now. The trade deadline has just come and gone. Let's see. Alberto says, 500. I've won a lot of money off your Eagles because they seem to have the best luck. And in the end, I'm just about collecting because I know NFL wants the Eagles to be winning this year for whatever reason. You think they scripted it for the Eagles? I don't know, man. But I'm glad you're making a lot of money. Keep betting us, man. That's what I would do. Buy a chess move and pawn b3, b5. All Micah did was make a statement about the Eagles being good. No, he didn't make a statement about the Eagles being good. He said the Eagles were the best team. When you say the Eagles are the best team, what message does that send your team? What he's saying is they're better than you. That's what he was saying. That's what he said. Whether he meant it that way or not, that's what he said. Now, when you're playing Philly on Sunday and Micah Parsons and Dallas, they're playing Philly. Let's say the Eagles are up 10. Let's say the Eagles are up 17 at halftime. You don't think those players are going to say, well, Micah said that they're the best team. Micah Parsons said they're the best team in the league. I think that's a bad thing, man. I don't think that sits well. If I was a player, that would not sit well with me. Even if it's true, it doesn't sit well. You don't say that. I think that was a big mistake. Honestly, if Hassan Reddick said that, I would be pissed off. Don't you ever say that. Even if it's true, do not say that. Am I crazy? Am I the only one that thinks like that? But I can't see Reggie White would never say that. Jerome Brown would never say that. Seth Joyner, Byard, they would never say that. Brian Dawkins would never say, no, you don't say that. You think you can beat everybody. I would respect Parsons way more if he said, we're the best team. We're the best team in the NFL. I would respect it. I can't respect what he said. I think that's what you guys are trying to change around is, man, I think that's bad. Webfoot, thank you for super chat. He goes, Swift 100 yards. I like it. AJ 125. Smith 100 yards. Those are my picks. I like it. Trader says, yeah, Parsons is trying to use reverse psychology on the team full of emotional children. That's why they have huge swings. Team is emotional. Reminds me of those emotional buddy teams. There's no way any of those emotional guys on Buddy's team would say that. I don't know. People try to say, well, it's reverse psychology. I don't know. I think he just flat out spoke too honestly. And I think, man, to me, what it tells me is that he don't believe in his team. And I really wonder how many guys in that locker room, were offended by that. Because I would have been offended. And I'm just keeping it real. I would have been very offended by that. You don't say it. You don't say that. Not against your bitter rivals. No. Cool Eagle David super chat, my man. He goes, Gainwell should have been traded. He hasn't been good, has negative value, and is the biggest distraction. He needs to be the example that isn't tolerated. I agree. But nobody probably wanted him. They should just cut him. I think you just cut him. I think that would send the same whatchamacallit. Level, he spoke honestly, and then if he spoke honestly, then he's not that bright. Level, the fans are too emotional, players are too wow. I just think he misspoke. You do podcasts, you start talking, and I just think he got carried away. But man, that was like, man, you don't say that. You do not say that. That team is better than you. You do not say it. I just think for your best player to say that another team is the best team in the league is not good. It's not good. And I wonder if, let's say Dallas is losing, let's say they're down 13. Say it's 20 to 10 at halftime versus the Eagles. Is that team going to be pissed off at him? Are they going to think, yeah, our best player just said we're not good enough to beat this team, and then they don't come back? I don't know. I don't like it. I think it was a bad mistake, but maybe I'm wrong. Philly said you're telling players on your team they sucks. Yeah, you're telling them that you're not good enough to beat them. You never say that. I remember Charles Barkley once in an interview. They asked him, they said, who's the better player, you or Michael Jordan? And he said, me. And then they said, come on, Charles, Michael's one of the greatest players. You really believe that? And Charles said, I would never, ever, ever admit or say somebody's better than me. I don't think like that. I can't think like that and go out and play. I don't think that you can go out there and play and think that your leader, your team, doesn't even believe that you can beat the players that you're playing against. Just my opinion. Space Cadet Entertainment, David Super Chat goes, Micah is Fredo taking sides against the family. Yeah, I agree. Joe Mariucci equals 500. Doesn't play on the Eagles. What do you mean? Joe Mariucci 500. He doesn't play on the Eagles. Who are we talking about? Parsons? I agree. He doesn't. Thank God. I don't want an Eagles player saying that. Parsons don't want to be there. He's throwing up. See, that's the other thing. I wonder if Parsons doesn't even want to play in Dallas. And I think he could also be taking a shot at the Cowboys. Like, the Eagles go out and they get Kevin Byard. They do this, they do that. I'm done with this Cowboys front office. They don't do anything. I'm going to start kissing up to the Eagles. And, in a few years when I'm a free agent, I'm going to go there. Could be saying that. 500, we did try to make a move for Jalen Johnson from the Bears, but they weren't biting. Once they got Montez Sweat, it didn't make sense for them to get him, So how much you betting on the game? I have 5 dimes on the Birds, 2.5. Also 3 road games. Cowgirls are 1-2, get up 400. I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to bet this game or not, but man, the Eagles are 2.5-point favorites. I love that. Yeah, you're going to win big time, man. I can't wait until the Dallas game too. I cannot. It's going to be awesome. So I'm going to do about another 10 minutes. Then I have to go back to work. I want to have to go back to work. I still got probably another 2-3 hours of work to do. So 5 more minutes. I want to thank everybody for joining me. This will probably be the only thing I put out today because it's late. Fredo just messed up with trusting more Green and Hyman Roth. Man, he didn't deserve what Michael gave. Right? Mr. Move Soyo, right? Yeah, serves you all right seeing as though you all come out when you all think the game is worthy of saving. Yeah. Joe, Mary, you literally said 500 shouldn't be Gainwell, should be gone. He doesn't play on the team. I don't play on the team, no, but I don't think Gainwell, I don't think he should be getting the play time he does. I don't play on the team, so I don't make the decision. But if it was up to me, bye-bye, Mr. Gainwell. I work for a company that sells chemicals to pest control, to licensed pest control companies. Go Birds is right. Absolutely. All right, Devlin, thank you. You have a good day too. It's gonna be an interesting game on Sunday, man. That Eagles-Dallas game is gonna be good. It's going to be really good. Everybody, I'm telling you, if you want ready money, if you want real money, hey, bet big on the Eagles. They seem to never lose. And if they are losing, they miraculously come back somehow. There you go. Get rich on the Eagles. You're going to become an Eagle fan after you're all done. Gritty says, Dallas is just mad that the Eagles have been dominating them the past seasons. Yeah, I mean, I think it's frustrating for Cowboy fans because they're supposed to be the Cowboys. Yet they always get outmaneuvered and outflanked, you know. We'll see what happens this weekend. If the Cowboys do beat us, that's a gigantic win for them, and it puts a lot of pressure on us going back to having to play Dallas later in the year. But if the Eagles win, man, I think they get some real space. Hale says, big love from Scotland, Philly. Love your work. Thank you, my man. He goes, Dallas still stinks. Can smell them from here. I hear you there. Thank you. GD, thank you for Super Chat. He goes, the Eagles are a good team, but for Eagle fans to think that Philly will sweep Dallas is laughable, especially if the Eagles have only beaten Dallas 3 times since 2018. Let me ask you something. 2 things. One, I don't think it's anything about sweeping. All I said was this specific game, which is in Philly. I haven't even thought about that other game yet. 2, what is Dallas, the Eagles beating Dallas 3 times since 2018? What does that have to do with this game? Like how does the 3 wins since 2018 affect the Eagles now? I mean, you realize this is not the same team that was in 2018, right? 2019. And you got to remember all the times the Eagles had clinched a playoff spot and didn't play their starters. Dallas, the same thing. So to me, I don't understand what does that record have to do with now? Has nothing to do with anything. You know, and as far as sweep goes, we're just talking about this game in Philly, which the Eagles should win. That's how I see it. But I appreciate the Super Chat. Do I think the Eagles will sweep Dallas? Yeah, I always think that. But I don't know. I haven't talked about sweeping yet. We'll see what happens. But I don't understand the 3 games since 2018 to me, it doesn't mean anything. You got different coaches. You got a whole bunch of stuff, right? To me, I look at it like Nick Sirianni last year was 1-1. When the Eagles got a team that they were ready to go try to win, they both split. They're 1-1. Let's see what happens. It matters because teams just have your number. It's 50-50. Yeah, sometimes teams have your number, but you know, that usually is over the course of like 10, 15 years. Like not the course of 3 years where you've gone through 2 different coaches, 3 different quarterbacks. I mean, Dallas has had stability as where the Eagles really haven't. They changed coaches, they changed quarterbacks. Now the Eagles have stable. I don't think they're the same team. And we'll see this. We'll see Sunday. We'll see Sunday. Usually when team has your number for a while, usually it's up and down. You know, it's cold, hot, cold, hot. I mean, Washington seems to have our number because ever since I've been watching Washington, back in the 80s, they always give us problems. Always. So I feel comfortable with that. The Giants, we get very streaky with the Giants. We go on long stretches where we beat the Giants, and then we have long stretches where we can't beat the Giants. 3 years is not enough information for me. Any of you Dallas fans going to be at the game? That's a good question. Has Dallas played versus A.J. Brown? They did. They played last year twice against them. I don't remember what A.J. Brown did the second game. I don't remember the Christmas. I don't remember what his numbers were at Christmas, but the first game in Philly, A.J. Brown had a touchdown. He had a pretty big game. I know Devontae Smith went off last year on Dallas, and I think he's going to go off again. Dallas beat us the last game of the season when we were on the Super Bowl. Eagles sat their starters for the playoffs. Yeah, that was a few years ago. Yeah, I remember that. Last year, Dallas beat us Christmas Eve. We had Gardner Minshew play. And then, Dallas will say that they didn't have Dak Prescott the first time we played. So we both didn't have our starting quarterbacks. What can you take from last year? I don't know. This is going to be a very interesting game because Dak is playing, Jalen is playing, and we'll see what happens. I say the Eagles go 13-4 this season with how they're doing. That seems about right to me. Adrian says, y'all can say whatever you want and be big and bad. Most of the Eagle fans in the back of their mind are nervous because they're talking all that crap you all don't want to lose. Of course they don't want to lose. Of course I'm nervous. I get nervous about every game. I was nervous last week versus Washington. I was nervous versus the Jets. I was really nervous versus Miami. I always get nervous. But the thing is the Eagles should win this game. They're at home. They got to win this game. That's all I know. And if they don't win this game, then they got to go steal one in Dallas to make up for it. I'm not nervous. No houses here. Not losing. There you go. That's great. I'm with you. Let's win. Philly, why are the Bears and Commanders such poverty? They're very badly run. I mean, why would the Bears go out with that when they have all those bad draft picks coming up, right? All those high picks. And they go out and they get Montez Sweat. I think he's a free agent at the end of the year. I really am surprised by Chicago. And I think that deal for Sweat probably forced them to not trade the kid that the Eagles wanted. It probably screwed up the whole trade. It's gonna be interesting. But let me get something here. Hold on. But it's 12. Yeah, I gotta go. I gotta go back to work. They're gonna get pissed off at me. Let me see here. I want to thank everybody for joining me, though. I had a lot of fun. We'll be talking a lot of Cowboys, Eagles. I think Mark wants to do something at some point, like a segment or something. We'll probably have to do something. I'm not gonna do anything else today. I'm gonna just enjoy Halloween and hang out with the family after work. Unless there's some breaking news or something. Let me see. Where the hell did I put it? Oh. There it is. There we go. All right. That's all ready. Philly, read my last chat, please. Philly 500. This just came out. The Pound Giants had a trade agreed with the 49ers for Adoree Jackson, but failed to report it in league time. That was their big cornerback trade. Yeah, somebody mentioned that. I think that's too bad for the 49ers. I don't, that doesn't scare me though. Adoree Jackson wouldn't scare me. I think as long as the 49ers don't have a quarterback, I feel like we're okay. But it's going to be a hell of a battle. Yeah, back to work. It's got to go back to work. All right, guys. Well, let me thank you guys. Thank you so much for joining me, hanging out with me. We did almost 3 hours. Holy crap. We had like close to 3,000 people at one point in time. Nothing happened today, but I had fun. We got a lot to talk about. Big game Sunday. If you haven't, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. And hey, listen, if we lose, I will eat all the crow in the world. But if we win, you're gonna have to hear me for 2 weeks because we're on a bye. But I love you guys. Thank you. It's time to go back to work. And with that said, hope you guys have a great day, great night. I will talk to you later. Have a great Halloween. Don't be a dingbat. And yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.
One more play.
The officials are bad.
We had one
Yo,
more.
you gotta be motherfucking
You got to be kidding me. We have no time for one more play.
Look at this motherfucker
What are you doing?
running from
What are you doing?
to get off the field on third down.
What was that bullshit?
That is not right. Kellen Moore, he's gotta be better, man. He wasn't.
Oh, that's some bullshit. What was that? We had no time for one more
He
play.
had an opportunity to win that game at the end.
But the referee screwed us. The brother screwed us.
I'm upset, but
The brother screwed us.
At least they fought back and tried.
Only Cowboys games.
Yeah, you
The brother
literally.
screwed us. The brother screwed us.
It's going to end the way
We had opportunity for one more play.
All right, so a couple things before I go. Kevin says Brown Christmas game with 6 catches, 103 yards. So yeah, Brown has over 100 yards. That's good. And then CT, thank you for super chat on the way out, my man. He says, this is the most confident I've been all year. Yeah, I feel pretty confident too. I feel pretty good about Sunday. But we're gonna have to see. We're gonna play the game. And so thank you guys very much. Now we out here. Peace. Peaky up.